bring them in. What? Yep.
Or an invocation.
Let's say no. Good morning, everyone. As I predicted, I think we had some things to talk about before we begin. Thank you for being here on time. I think we're ready to proceed with your next witness then.
State calls John Williams.
Solemnly swear the testimony given in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes. Good morning.
Morning.
Can you please state and spell your name for the court record?
John Williams, Johnwilliams.
How are you employed?
I'm an investigator lieutenant with the Crosse County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you worked in total with the Crosse County Sheriff's Office?
29 years, 4 months, and 17 days, I believe.
You say that like someone's close to retirement.
Close.
How long have you served as a lieutenant of investigators?
I've been a lieutenant for 2 years.
Okay. And were you an investigative sergeant prior to being a lieutenant?
Yes.
Okay. I want to direct your attention to February 11th of 2023. Were you a investigative sergeant back on February 11th of 2023?
Yes.
Did you respond to West 5512 County Road OS in the city of Onalaska, County of La Crosse on the morning of February 11th, 2023?
Yes, I did.
What was the purpose of your response to that address?
We had gotten a call about a deceased juvenile. Basically, that's the only information I received initially.
When you arrived on scene, what was your purpose?
My purpose was to determine exactly what happened, or get a description from Joseph Anderson of what happened. He was training a deputy PAF, and then determine, the procedure we needed to follow after that.
When you responded on scene on the morning of February 11th, 2023, were you the person that was in charge of everything?
I was, yes, pushed into that role. We were shorthanded. Also, our sheriff had just been promoted, or our captain had just been promoted to sheriff, so we were short, yes.
What were all the different responsibilities that you were tasked with on the morning of February 11th, 2023?
Basically coordinating the event, determining what we needed, whether we had family on scene, we had CPS arrive, first responders were there before I got there, basically getting an overall picture of the scene.
As part of your role as the individual that was in charge of the investigation, did you task others with conducting a inside scene investigation?
Yes.
Who were the individuals that you tasked with conducting the inside scene investigation?
Deputy Joseph Anderson, Carson Jar, and then Sergeant Amundsen.
Was one of your other responsibilities notifying Child Protective Services?
Yes.
Did you take care of that responsibility?
Yes.
Was one of your responsibilities notifying Derek Pedrin?
Yes.
Did you take care of that responsibility as well?
Yes.
When you arrived on scene, were you briefed by the initial officers that responded on scene?
Yes.
Who are the two officers that briefed you?
Joseph Anderson and Carson Jar.
And did both of those individuals provide you with their information that they received based on their initial response?
Yes.
after your scene investigation on this, or your investigation and response on this particular day, you had an opportunity to go back and watch the body camera of Carson Jar, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall one of the things that you observed on the body cam of Carson Jar was his handling of that pill container?
I don't recall, but if you're saying so, yes.
Okay. And do you recall whether or not he was wearing gloves when you watched the body cam?
I believe he was wearing gloves.
Okay, that's your recollection today?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to come back to that in a little bit, okay? After you were briefed by Deputies Jar and Deputy Anderson, did you conduct an initial interview of Josie Dikeman?
I did.
Were you wearing a body camera that day?
Yes.
Was that interview captured on your body camera?
Yes.
Would you recognize that interview for you to see it in open court today?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, Your Honor, I'm going to ask that we play State's Exhibit number 21. It's going to be, I believe it's excerpt number 1.
Okay, any objection? No. Yep.
Initial. And your date of birth.
3592.
What's your phone number? I know I have it.
608-518-6265.
And due to the case, I've got to read your rights. Okay, it's just part of our procedure. I've got to read your rights. Okay. So, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to consult with a lawyer before questioning. Have a lawyer present with you during the time of questioning. If you cannot afford to hire one will be appointed to represent you at public expense before or during any questioning if you so wish. If you decide to start answering any questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop the questioning and remain silent anytime you wish, and the right to ask for and have an attorney anytime you wish, including during the questioning. Do you understand those rights? I just need a verbal.
Yes.
This. Are you willing to waive those rights to answer some questions?
For now.
Okay. Let me just get.
I have a lawyer if I need one.
Okay. If at any time you feel you need an attorney, just stop and you can have an attorney. Okay. I just want to get some basic information. So, who was here? I got the call last night. Reference Pedrin being here, right? And then
Yeah,
he was arrested or something.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know the details with that, but they had gotten a welfare check call here.
Yeah, and I think it was due to Jenna being informed about
And who's
CPS involvement.
Jenna?
Jenna's biological mom.
Okay.
She's incarcerated.
Hello. Nope. Not right now. Okay. Okay. Good. So Jenna's the biological mom,
Yes.
and that's of
But I've been his mom.
Xavier.
Yes.
Is it?
3 years.
How do you spell his name?
Alexavier
And his last name?
Pedrin. Pedrin.
Okay. So she's bio. What's Jenna's last name?
I believe it's Love still, 'cause she was married.
Okay. So you believe it was Jenna that called this in, or she called somebody to call it in?
I think it was her family.
Yeah.
The officers told me that it was her family. Grandma and aunt, it would be to Alex.
Okay. And what were their concerns?
I believe it was about his leg. He had a broken leg he broke about, I think it's been 3 weeks.
Okay. Where did he break that?
Alex was throwing his pajamas down the stairs, and his sister was with him, and he said she accidentally pushed him.
Okay. And who's the sister?
Araya.
All right. Okay. And that was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. If I'm guessing right.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Where was he treated at for that? Like Gunderson or?
Initially male, and then Gunderson.
Do you remember his doctor's name at all? Did you take him to the appointments, or who took him to the appointments, I guess?
I did, but I don't have him on my Gunderson My Chart. I only have him on my mail, so I'd have to look at my paperwork, and right now I don't know where anything.
No.
They kind of stirred everything up in my room.
So you made a comment that they had called in because CPS is involved too, or something last night?
Since CPS was involved, CPS had to notify Jenna.
CPS was involved with his broken leg?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they did a body exam, and
Okay.
it was ruled accidental,
And do you know who the CPS worker is with that? Sarah Barton Wagner?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so 3 weeks ago he had the broken leg. Any other, I guess, sicknesses or?
No, I mean,
someone had
since he's been
mentioned
getting
COVID
better-
or something last night
Yeah,
when
we
they
had
called her.
COVID right after he got out.
So like 2 weeks ago.
My major
Oh,
had COVID first.
Major had COVID.
Right
Okay.
when we got out, and then it kind of went through the house. Alex and I were the last to get it. And then I think his first day back to school was not last week, but the week before. So if that kind of gives you a time frame of when he had COVID, I can't think right
So you had
now.
it over a week ago.
He was out of school 5 days.
Okay.
He was out of school for his broken leg, and then he was out of school 5 days after that.
Now with these cases, we try to go back, like, say, let's go back 48 hours. So today, it's Saturday at,
See, since his leg was getting better, he was trying to do more, you know.
Okay.
And so the school and I were working together. Like, Alex, you can't run with your walker.
so he
You
went to
can't."
school yesterday then? Or no?
They didn't have school
No,
Thursday
okay.
and Friday.
Okay, no school Thursday, okay.
And so we've been trying to work together to try to remind him, like, yeah, your leg's feeling better, but you can't. You know,
So was he able to walk on it or
No.
put weight? No
No.
weight? So no weight bearing?
no weight bearing and 24-hour supervision. As far as I'm concerned. I don't know
Yep.
if that was right away after the hospital, but that's what I've been trying to do, you know, other than when we're sleeping. You know, I
Yep.
still have him in my room.
So he's been staying
sleeping
there
in
then?
our room. Yep.
And that's your room
And
there?
that's my room.
Okay.
And, but, you know, at night he's been trying to sneak out and get, like treats and ice cream, and he got into my Red Bull in the fridge. And I was like, that's not safe for you, you know, you can't do that. And so I tried putting the baby gate up, and I couldn't figure it out. So
What do you mean baby gate? There was
there was one in the hallway, but I put it in my,
in this area right here.
there was one in the hallway when they first got here, but I put it in my oldest son's room because it was in the way. I can't figure out how to set it up.
Okay.
So I just put him in my bed because I couldn't figure out how to, you know,
Yeah.
to keep him safe, I have to make sure that he can't get up on his foot in the night.
Yep.
And I couldn't block off the doorway, so I was like, I'll just put you on the opposite side of the room.
Okay.
Away from that doorway because this doorway shuts. And then last night, he was up with me till 3 in the morning. And I was on the phone with my friend, and I was like, Alex, why are you staying up? You know, why aren't you going to sleep? Are you waiting for me to fall asleep? And he jokingly said, yeah. You know, and I was like, well, I'm not going to sleep, and I wish I didn't go to sleep, you know?
Yeah. Who were you talking to last night?
Laura Lee.
Laura Lee.
Yeah.
That's her last name is Lee?
Laura Lee, Rains.
Rains. Do you know her telephone number offhand? So you were talking to her at 10:44, and looks like it lasted 16 minutes?
Yep.
Okay. Did you talk to anybody after that, or?
I mean,
So Laura lay, and then everything was from this morning? Okay. And who's Laura Lay to you, I guess?
she's my daughter's aunt,
Okay.
but she considers all.
Here's what I found.
Oops, she considers all the kids her nieces and nephews.
Okay. So then, you were up at 3 a.m. with him, and he was joking with you that he was, what, I can't remember what she said again.
That
That
he was waiting for me.
He's waiting for you to go to sleep. Okay. So if you talk to her at, say, 10:45, 11,
I told her eventually I had to get off the phone so I could, he could fall asleep because I thought I was keeping him up. And then
so from 11 to 3, what were you guys doing?
I tried turning off the TV. He couldn't fall asleep. So then I turned it back on. We watched TV for a little bit. I noticed he was starting to fall asleep. At about, I think I turned it off for about a half an hour. He wasn't falling asleep.
Yeah.
So probably at about midnight, I turned it back on because I wasn't tired either.
Okay.
And I said we could watch TV for a little bit. Have been watching Mary-Kate and Ashley shows.
Okay.
And then, I think 2, 3, I finally shut the TV off.
Okay. So Sergeant Cernine was here last night on the welfare check and the Pedrin issue, and Cernine said he'd come in and talk to him, and he was just sluggish.
He wasn't feeling good. And maybe it's because he fell asleep at probably 5. And then he woke up again at 7.
Yesterday?
Yeah, and he said he was feeling better.
So yesterday at 5 p.m. you were sleeping, or 5 a.m.?
5, he fell asleep, yep.
Oh, 5 p.m.?
PM.
Okay. So
So
last
5.
night at Friday, he was asleep at 5 and then woke up at what time?
Either 5 or... Yeah, he fell asleep at 5, I know that. And then I think he woke up at... in between 7 and...
CPS is here. Do you want them up right away? You want to hold off?
If they just want to hold on a second.
I want to say 7 and 8:30, I want to say. He woke up.
Okay.
7 and 8, maybe.
And Cernine said you gave him some sleeping medication or
Yeah,
something?
he takes melatonin.
Oh, melatonin. He couldn't think what it was. And melatonin is just an over-the-counter.
Yeah.
Yep. How much of that did he take? Do you remember?
He takes 5.
5 milligrams. And was that suggested by a doctor or just okay? Is he taking any pain medication for his leg?
Just Tylenol and ibuprofen as needed.
Do you remember if he took any of that yesterday?
I don't think it was yesterday. I think it was the day before.
Okay.
I might have given him Tylenol for his headache yesterday, but I can't remember.
Okay. What medication are you on?
I'm on topiramate. Topiramate.
Do you know how to spell it? I have no idea. And that's all right. I mean, what do you take it for, if you don't mind me asking?
Headaches.
Headaches? Okay. Is that a daily thing or just as
Every
needed?
night.
Every night. Okay.
Omeprazole.
Do you have a list or something? Or?
I'm trying to look at my list. There's topiramate.
Okay. I mean, if I just take a picture of that, that'd probably be easier so we don't have to.
And then I don't take that. Wait. Well, that's as needed, but I barely ever take that. I don't take this though.
Okay.
This is as needed, and that's as needed. Yeah, these two. Sorry.
Okay.
Both of these. Did you get them? Was my thumb in the way?
I believe I got them. Okay. And where do you keep those medications at?
In my white thing next to my bed, my white drawer.
White drawer.
It's usually blocked by a table. And I've never had a problem with kids, going in
And that'd be on the right side.
by me, yeah.
Okay. And Alex is on this side of the bed.
On the opposite side.
Okay. Okay. And you said it's
He didn't get the medication that I take daily.
Okay.
It was in a bag that of old medication. I don't even know what he took or what was in the bottle.
What do you mean?
It's
Another.
from our old house in Brownsville. Old medication that I stored in a bag that I needed.
So you believe he got into something then?
He got into
'Cause
a.
I don't know
it's
anything
a,
here.
It's a purse that was zipped up with medication in it.
Yep. And you think he got into that?
That's what I seen on the floor next to him.
Okay. I guess we'll go back to the start. I know this is hard on you, and this will be
It
the
feels
last.
like a dream. I just wanted to go away. I wanted his little arms to just come running to me. I just want my baby back.
So, at 9 o'clock this morning, you woke up. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then just I guess walk me through what you
I
saw.
was looking for Alex. I couldn't find him, and
He wasn't
And
in the
then I
bed
found-
with you.
right.
Okay. And where did you find him then?
on the floor. And then I seen foam in his mouth, and I told the kids to get upstairs. And I tried doing CPR. And I called my mom because she's a nurse, and I didn't know what to do. And she told me to call 911, and I did.
And Mom's Becky. Okay. So you called Becky first, and then you called Mom second, or called Mom first, and then 911 second.
Honestly, hospitals and everything gives me PTSD because of everything they put me through.
Okay. Yeah.
I get scared. When it comes to me and my kids.
So you noticed like the black foam coming from his nose or mouth
Mouth.
or mouth?
It was white.
White. Okay, white foam.
I tried CPR for about 10 minutes and then I just held him.
So you called your mom, she said call 911, and then you did CPR or
I did CPR first.
CPR first for 10 minutes, and then called your mom? Okay. Do you remember when you were trained to do CPR? It's just
It's been a few years.
okay. But you have been certified in it before. Okay. Let's go back to the bag. Do you remember where that bag was at the beginning? Like where you had it, or where he would have found it?
It was either in the bottom drawer of next to the bed or
So you're talking on this side of the bed. It'd be
Yeah.
and there's a dresser or something, or
it was in one of three places, honestly, because I haven't seen it in a while. It was either in the bottom drawer, on that hanger shelf,
okay.
or on my bookshelf.
And how old are the meds? Do you believe?
Old.
A couple of
They're
years,
from,
or
yeah, they're from Brownsville, and we've been here a couple of years since we moved from Brownsville.
any reason you never got rid of them?
I transferred them to a place, I guess. You know, never took them from here to there, I guess, with.
Because you can dispose of them. We have boxes at work. I mean,
At the police
at the-
station,
yeah.
I never knew that.
yeah, and we have like usually a yearly drug take back program. So people come in with medications that are super, super old. So we dispose of them.
I think when I put them there, everyone was on lockdown for COVID.
When you moved here, yeah, 2 to 3 years, yeah. Anything else you remember? Who's the biological dad for Derek? And I'm sorry, I heard Derek had passed away.
No,
Or
he's in jail.
oh, he's in. Okay, someone told me he passed away, I believe, but maybe not. What jail is he?
Jalen's father passed away.
Okay. That's probably where I got confused. Where's Derek's? He's in jail or prison?
Jail. Remember you guys arrested him yesterday.
Oh, never mind. I'm getting names screwed up. Okay. He's in jail for bail jumping and disorderly conduct or something?
Just bail jumping.
Bail jumping. And that's from a disagreement you guys had?
That's from him being drunk and me calling the cops when he was on a no drink.
Okay. When was he on a no drink?
Because he's on a no drink from being drunk and
So you guys had an argument and he was drinking and then you called the police and then he
he
got
tried to choke me.
Okay. Okay. So yesterday how long has he been staying here, I guess? Since the no contact, since he'd been arrested, or? When was he arrested initially for the charge? When
The
he was
no contact initially was dropped.
Okay.
And then when I called the cops again, I think it was the 7th.
7th of February.
I think that's what the cops said.
Okay, I can look that up. That's
Yeah.
okay.
They put another one on because I asked for it. And then and then he just came back and said he needed help and he couldn't quit drinking without me.
With any death case, we have to do a search warrant. So there's another officer working on the search warrant. That way we can document where everything's at and stuff. We're not searching anything anymore. I mean, they did CPR and stuff, and we just need to document everything. And with that warrant, I'm going to have to seize your phone too. You'll get it back. I just need to do an extraction to show the phone calls in order and stuff. That's the only thing I'm looking for. So, do you have a passcode for your phone? Do you mind giving that to me?
Yeah.
What's your passcode?
I changed it when I had COVID, so it's COVID flu.
COVID flu. And that'll be done Monday. I'm sure your mom's gonna stay with you, so I'll get her phone number and stuff. So your mom wasn't here at all.
No.
She just showed up after you called. Okay. And you're the only adult here.
Yeah.
Okay. You have any questions for me?
My mom's gonna stay here with me. I'd rather stay at her house.
Yeah, you can stay wherever you want. I'll go talk to her. We can go back outside. I'm just gonna take your phone for now. So
I don't get it back till Monday?
yeah,
What?
yeah, because we're gonna be
Can
doing.
I write down some phone numbers?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
What am I supposed to do till Monday?
Oh, you do it with your mom. So. And we'll have to notify Derek in the jail. I'm assuming he hasn't been told. The jailer's
I
probably
don't
been told.
think he has. His mom was here.
Yeah. I'm gonna call the jail and make sure he doesn't make any phone calls and finds out a different way. Hey Jim, Sergeant Williams, Hey, Derek Pedrin's in custody right now, right? Can you, I guess, not let him make any phone calls, so we've got to come down there and talk to him?
He's there with his family right now in the booth, talking to his somebody over here.
Okay. Okay. Okay, can you have Sergeant Holsey call my personal cell? I'll give you that. Yep, thank you. Bye. I'm guessing he knows already, so,
He's with family.
yeah. Sergeant Holsey made arrangements, and it sounds like he's in a booth talking to family members, so.
What am I gonna do about my app and meeting Mark? We have my family with her.
So Mark has Major right now.
Yeah.
So Major wasn't here last night then, right? Or
You know, he was with my mom.
okay. I'll talk to the district attorney that's helping us and stuff, and I'll see what we need.
I'm just checking my account so I know what I have.
Yep. Hello.
Hey, John. Very cool.
Hey, Greg. Can I call you right back?
Yep.
I didn't expect you to call that this quick, so I'll call you right back. Thank you. 6189. Okay, thank you. Bye. Yeah, we can go back outside now.
Am I gonna be able to get clothes for my kids?
Yep. Let's just, they're working on the warrant. Once we get all that done, then you can come back in and get whatever you need, so.
Lieutenant Williams, we just watched the first portion of your body cam in open court. Was that a fair and accurate representation of your interview with Ms. Dikeman on the morning of February 11th, 2023?
Yes,
That interview took place around just after 11 o'clock in the morning. Is that fair?
yes,
You would agree that Ms. Dikeman showed some emotion at the very beginning of the interview.
yes,
She did seem upset.
yes,
She appeared to be crying.
yes,
During this portion of the investigation that you're conducting, you don't know ultimately the cause and manner of death for Alexavier. Is that fair?
correct.
So at this stage of the investigation, is this a fact-gathering function where you're just trying to get as much information as possible regarding the circumstances?
Yes,
And you asked the defendant to give you a timeline of events regarding the previous evening. Is that correct?
correct.
And she told you that Alexavier was asleep from 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. or even after. At some point, she said it may have even been 8:30. Is that correct?
Yes,
And she said after Alexavier woke up from being asleep from 5 p.m. to 7 to 8:30 that he was actually feeling better.
yes,
Those were her words. He was feeling better.
yes,
At the beginning of the interview, she talked about being on the phone with a friend until about 3 o'clock in the morning. Is that correct?
yes,
You had an opportunity to look at her phone. We saw that on the video.
yes,
And in fact, you took screenshots of her phone to actually capture the phone calls that she was on that evening, correct?
correct.
One of the screenshots that you took or photographs that you took of your phone was her conversation with Laura Lee.
Yes,
And you actually put in the video the time frame for when she had the conversations with Laura Lee.
yes,
I think you said 10:44 was the beginning of the phone call and it ended after 16 minutes.
correct.
Now, her initial representation to you during this interview is that she was talking with a friend until 3 o'clock in the morning, correct?
That's how I took it, yes.
The one phone call that you saw ended at approximately 11 in the evening.
Yes.
Okay, that's inconsistent information that she's giving you at that point, fair?
Could be.
Could be.
There's other ways of communicating.
Communicating, texting, chatting.
FaceTime.
The defendant didn't give you any additional information about who or where this person was that she was chatting with, did she?
Correct.
Towards the end of the interview, you mentioned having to get 2 search warrants, a search warrant for the residence due to the death of Alexavier, and then also a search warrant for her cell phone being that of the defendant's. Is that correct?
Yes,
The defendant was cooperative and handed her cell phone over to you,
it was.
and you were also agreeable to allow the defendant to get some phone numbers out of her phone that she needed.
Yes.
After you collected the cell phone, did your department obtain a search warrant for that cell phone?
Yes.
And a search warrant is what? Explain that process to the jury.
Basically, it's a search warrant to search the entire contents. Basically, we try to limit it to a time frame, searching for phone calls, pictures, texting, what apps they're using, and also retrieves deleted information most of the time, not all the time.
And a search warrant has to be reviewed and approved by a judicial official, is that correct?
Yes,
You cannot conduct a search without that being approved.
correct.
Were search warrants obtained for both the defendant's cell phone as well as the residence?
Yes,
At the very beginning of your interview with the defendant, you informed her of what's referred to as the Miranda warnings.
yes,
Correct?
correct.
The Miranda warnings are not necessary for someone that is out of custody. They are typically only given for an individual that is in custody. Is that fair?
Correct.
You chose in this circumstance to have the Miranda warnings given to the defendant out of custody. Explain to the jury why you chose to do that.
Usually if there's a suspicious death, and there's so many law enforcement present, someone can feel like they may be in custody. Plus, I'd already, I believe, afterwards told her that she wasn't free to leave until we had the search warrant conducted. So, in case we had further follow-up questions.
Was this an extra precaution you were taking given all the surrounding circumstances?
Yes.
During your interview with the defendant, as you're gathering this timeline, the defendant talks about trying to shut the TV off around 11:30 to midnight. Is that correct?
Yes.
And why does the defendant say that she eventually turns the TV back on? Who would not go to sleep?
Alexavier.
Alexavier was still up.
Yes.
And the defendant's timeline, she's up with Alexavier from that original time frame that she gives us when she goes to bed all the way to what hour of the morning?
I believe it was 3 a.m.
The defendant, during that interview with you, does not indicate who fell asleep first, her or Alexavier, according to the defendant, right?
Correct.
You also discussed with the defendant the bag of the old medication.
Yes.
Medication that the defendant referred to as medication that was from when they lived in Brownsville, I believe.
Yes.
The defendant gave you 3 different locations where she believes she stored that bag. What were the 3 locations, if you recall?
I don't recall.
One was a bookshelf, is
One
that
was
right?
a bookshelf. One was a desk drawer. I don't remember the third.
To your knowledge, based on your interview with her, was when the defendant is describing those locations, was she referencing her bedroom as the place where that bag would have stored?
Yes. It'd be the living room, but it was made into a bedroom.
Made into a bedroom.
Yes.
Thank you. And to be clear, that's what the defendant used as a bedroom, correct?
Correct.
And that was the room that the defendant said she went to sleep with Alexavier the previous evening,
Yes.
or I guess early morning hours, to be more accurate. You had 2 more encounters with the defendant during the course of that morning, both of which were captured on body cam. Is that fair?
Yes.
There was a discussion with the defendant about Derek still being in custody, correct?
Yes.
At some point, do you go back and have a conversation with the defendant relative to the no contact order and whether the defendant wants to have contact with Derek Pedrin?
Yes.
Okay, and that would have been captured on the body cam?
It was.
Okay, I'm going to ask that we play excerpt number 2, which is labeled as, I believe, Williams 6 on Exhibit 21.
Josie, we just want you to stay here while we're still doing the warrant and everything. And then once we turn the house back over to you, then you can leave anytime.
I don't know.
So.
I gotta go to the police department. What's going on with Derek?
The chaplain's going down to talk to him. So, and then the chaplain's supposed to call me back and tell me how his head is, and then
His head?
like how he's feeling, what his,
Stable.
if he's, how.
Don't worry about that.
The judge wants to hear how he's feeling and what before he makes a decision. So the chaplain should call me back here. I texted him; he hasn't replied back. So
Josie, like I said, we understand. You've told me you feel safe if Derek were to return, but I mean,
Yeah, you love
with
to
something
hear
like
me.
this happening, people aren't themselves.
You love to hear me. The only way I don't feel safe is if he's drinking.
yeah,
And
So,
nobody would be here to physically stop him from drinking.
was he drinking last night when he was here, or no?
no.
Okay.
They breathalyzed him.
Oh, they did.
He
Okay.
admitted to taking a little airplane shot
I don't
earlier
know
in the
that.
day, but he PBT'd zeros.
He did. Okay, that'll be good to know for the judge. So.
Lieutenant Williams, that clip that we just watched in open court, did that fairly and accurately capture your interaction with the defendant regarding the no contact order?
Yes.
And what was her indication regarding the no contact order?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes, what did she say about the no contact order? Did she want it to remain in place?
She was fine as long as he wasn't drinking. She didn't feel unsafe with him if he wasn't drinking.
One of the additional responsibilities you had in this case was after having that discussion with the defendant regarding Derek Pedrin was to actually have phone contact with Scott Horn. Is that correct?
Correct.
Who is Scott Horn?
He's a Crosse County judge.
He's a circuit court judge for Crosse County.
Yes.
So I should refer to him as the Honorable Scott Horn.
Yes.
And was that relative to the no contact order that was in place for Derek Pedrin? And to inform them of the circumstances regarding the death of Alexavier?
Yes, that and bond conditions if he was going to be able to release him.
Okay. Did you also have conversations with Derek Pedrin?
Yes,
Were those over the phone?
I believe so.
The conversations that you had with Derek Pedrin over the phone after Derek was informed of the death of Alexavier, how would you describe his demeanor as you could hear it over the phone?
He was very upset.
Distraught?
Yes.
Did you have one phone call or more than one phone calls with Mr. Pedrin?
I believe a couple.
Was that emotional state the same on each one of those phone calls?
Yes.
Your department also had family members of Derek Pedrin visit with him and allowed that to perform the notification of the death of Alexavier. Is that correct?
Yes.
Were members of the department present when the family members informed Derek of the death?
I believe the chaplain was.
The chaplain was present. Did you speak with the chaplain afterwards?
I do, but I don't recall what he told me.
What he told you? That's fair. Going back to the first video we watched, I want to make sure that we capture the time frame correctly. On the morning of February 11th, 2023, how long did the defendant tell you that she performed CPR on the body of Alexavier?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Lieutenant Williams, you have one final discussion with the defendant that's captured on your body cam. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's to verify the defendant's feelings on the no contact order?
Yes.
Okay. And in that conversation that you have with the defendant is now aware that a search warrant's being executed at her residence, correct?
Correct.
She knows law enforcement is going through her home,
Yes.
correct? And does she make a disclosure regarding drugs in her house after she's aware that a search warrant is being executed at her home?
Yes. She told me Derek had provided her with marijuana the night before, and she put it in her drawer upstairs.
And we'll see that on the body cam, correct? Okay, I would ask that excerpt number 3, which is labeled as Williams video number 9 on State's Exhibit 21 now be played.
Question for you, Josie, and I can't promise you anything or anything, but obviously, Derek's in jail. Would you want him to be released?
Yeah.
To be with you? Okay.
Yes, please.
I already talked to Sarah and said, you know.
I need
So.
someone here.
Okay. Okay.
And
you wanna-
I have to tell you something, but I don't
Yeah.
want him to get in any trouble.
Okay. What do you need to tell me?
I mean, it's nothing big.
Yeah.
When the cops were here yesterday, he gave me his marijuana, and I put it in my top drawer.
Okay. Oh, it's just I don't care about
But I know
marijuana.
you're doing good.
I'm not charging anybody with marijuana. So,
I just wanted to be honest.
okay. Yep. If it was meth or heroin or something like that, something super, super dangerous, we'd deal with that. But
No, there's
Okay.
none of that allowed.
okay. Okay. You guys want to sit in the sun? Yep.
I don't do nothing
No.
because of my head.
Okay.
But it
You
is
guys
in
wanna
my-
sit in the sun,
It
you
is
can.
in my top drawer.
Of your white stand
No, of my
or
dresser.
a dresser? Okay.
Above by the TV.
Okay.
Need coffee?
Lieutenant Williams, did that third clip that was played in open court fairly and accurately capture the conversation that you had with Ms. Dikeman relative to the no contact order
Yes.
and the marijuana? I'd move all videos contained on State's Exhibit number 21 now.
Objection. Received.
Lieutenant Williams, after conducting the initial investigation, you did a cursory review of the defendant's cell phone, is that correct?
I did.
But there was a more in-depth extraction done of her cell phone that would allow a greater examination of that cell phone, is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And did you review her cell phone after the extraction was done, or did someone else perform that as well?
I did.
You did, okay. Do you recall the results that you found with the initial extraction regarding the time frame that Ms. Dikeman provided you?
She had been texting a boyfriend. I don't recall the
I'm going to
exact.
object to the characterization of boyfriend. I don't think that's been established.
Sustained.
Okay. She was texting who?
A friend.
A friend?
Yes.
Was it about a date?
Yes.
A date the next day?
Yes.
Okay. And how long was she texting this individual regarding that date that was supposed to take place the next day?
I have to look at my report. I don't recall.
Okay.
It was between 11 and 3.
During that time frame?
Yes.
The time frame that she originally gave you that she was talking to a friend?
Correct.
Regarding the scene investigation and the collection of physical evidence, I think you already told us that that was done by individuals that you charged with the responsibility on that particular date. Is that fair?
Yes.
And so if there's questions relative to the scene, it would be best to pose those to those individuals?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Lieutenant Williams. I have no further questions at this time.
Cross?
Thank you. Morning, Lieutenant.
Morning.
All right, so you are now a lieutenant in the Sheriff's Department, is that correct?
Lieutenant of Investigation, yes.
And is there a captain anymore, or is the lieutenant in charge of investigations now?
The lieutenant is.
Okay.
Me, yes.
And I know you said you have 29 plus years of experience as a law enforcement officer.
Yes.
And I know that you have been a investigator for many years before you were promoted to lieutenant, is that right?
Yes.
And in those years, you've conducted hundreds, if not thousands, of investigations.
Probably not thousands, but hundreds.
You've interviewed many witnesses, is that fair to say?
Yes.
You're very well familiar with the process of conducting a good investigation.
Yes.
And a basic part of conducting a good investigation is ensuring that you and your team members gather all of the relevant facts. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because it's the gathering of the facts that allow you to determine what happened. Is that correct?
Correct.
And by examining all of the relevant facts, you can determine if somebody is or is not culpable of a crime. Is that fair?
Yes.
And it's just as important to gather all the relevant facts because those help protect innocent suspects as well.
Yes.
You know that prosecutors, judges, and defense lawyers all rely on the facts that you and your teammates gather.
Yes.
And it's very, very important in your line of work to avoid making assumptions
Correct.
because things aren't always what they seem to be. Is that correct?
Correct.
And by making an assumption, you might miss out on important facts that are different from what your theory might be.
Yes.
And you're unable to rewind the clock, so to speak, in some cases and get a fuller picture if you're relying on an assumption.
Yes.
Making assumptions might cause investigators to target somebody who's not culpable.
Correct.
And it's not your job to target somebody specifically to make a case. Is that fair?
Yes.
It's your job to gather all of the facts and forward them to a prosecutor or a judge or a jury to make a determination on guilt or innocence.
Yes. My job is to prove it either way.
Sure. And would you agree with me, Lieutenant, that a good investigator should not be afraid of facts that are inconsistent with their theory of the case?
Yes.
Because it's not your job to prove your own hypothesis. Is that right?
Correct.
Which is why a good investigator should seek out evidence that's contrary to their working theories. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because if a detail of an accusation or a detail of what somebody's telling you doesn't make sense, an investigator should explore why it doesn't make sense. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And sometimes that means confronting either alleged victims or witnesses about inconsistent facts that they give you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Or confirming that they're not following your lead simply by giving you the information that you want to hear.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to ask you, like, at this point, is it fair to say that you would have been the investigator in charge of this investigation?
No.
Who was in charge of this investigation?
There were multiple people in charge. We got a hold of Department of Criminal Investigation. I was off for 4 weeks for surgery, so there was multiple people in charge of this investigation.
You're the ranking Sheriff's Department investigator on this case at this point, is that correct?
I'm not on this case.
You're not on this case now?
No.
Okay. Who from DCI was it your impression was in charge here?
Like I said, there was one person in charge. There was multiple people. Sergeant Amundsen took over the investigation.
Okay. So Sergeant Amundsen would have been the lead investigator after your involvement here?
After a couple months, yes.
All right. But for the first couple of months, you were kind of running the investigation until you had your surgery?
Like I said, there was multiple people. So there was Sergeant Amundsen. There's certain aspects of this that we all had to look at. So
who were the others that were in charge?
Sergeant Amundsen. I don't recall the DCI agents, but there was at least 3 of them involved.
Would you agree that it's important to have sort of a lead investigator designated to coordinate the investigation?
Yes.
To make sure that investigators aren't missing out on important leads?
Correct.
And was it Sergeant Amundsen then that was serving in that lead investigator role from your department?
After a few months, yes.
Okay. And before before Sergeant Amundsen took over, that would have been you?
Yes.
Okay. And part of what you're doing is in this team approach is that you're having briefings, correct?
Yes.
In other words, the investigators are getting together and talking about what you're doing in a specific part of the investigation.
Yes.
And that's important so that you know that somebody is assigned to handle every part of a case that you need to look into. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is it also common practice for investigators to read the police reports of other investigators to see who they're talking to and what they're doing?
Yes.
For the same reasons, correct?
Correct.
You want to make sure that this is coordinated and nobody misses anything.
Correct.
All right. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about the interview that we just saw of Ms. Dikeman at the home. You testified that at times she was emotional and crying, is that right?
Yes.
And you agree with me, Lieutenant, that there is no right way to go through trauma?
Correct.
And nobody reacts the same way to the loss of a close family member, is that fair to say?
Yes.
All right. So, and you observed a number of emotional states with Ms. Dikeman, is that fair to say?
Yes.
Now, I want to talk to you about what specifically the two of you talked about. You told her that she needed to turn over her cell phone, is that correct?
I asked her.
Yeah. And you had probable cause to do that, correct?
Correct.
You had probable cause to seize any phone that might be connected with a potential drug overdose, is that correct?
Correct.
She gave you her phone after she wrote down some phone numbers, is that right?
Yes.
It's pretty common for you to treat a witness who's cooperating, allow them to write down phone numbers, right?
Yes.
You asked her for a passcode, is that correct?
Yes.
She gave it to you?
Yes.
You were able to unlock her phone with that?
Yes.
She didn't ask you to not look at certain parts of the phone, is that fair?
Yes.
And the questions that Ms. Dikeman answered, she was able to answer most of your questions, is that fair?
Yes.
And a lot of what she told you, you were able to verify as true, is that correct?
Yes.
So, for instance, she told you that police or Sergeant Crenine and Deputy Paff had been there for a welfare check the night before. Is that correct?
Yes.
That was true?
Yes.
She told you that it was her impression that the welfare check had been called in by a relative of Alex's biological mother. Is that correct?
Correct.
That was true as well?
Yes.
She told you that Alexavier had broken his leg about 3 weeks before. Is that correct?
Yes.
That was true as well?
Yes.
She told you that Major was with her mother and was being transferred over to Mark. Is that correct?
Yes.
You found that to be true as well?
Yes.
And for the record, Lieutenant, you're familiar with My Family Wizard?
Yes.
That's an application that is sometimes ordered through family courts for parents who don't necessarily get along so that their communications about the child could be monitored.
Yes.
And that's what Ms. Dikeman referenced regarding Mark Helrud?
It was.
Okay. Ms. Dikeman told you that she had been sleeping in her room, is that correct?
Yes.
You verified that as true?
I don't know how to verify that, but that's what she said, yes.
Sure. She told you that she stayed up until fairly early in the morning, is that correct?
Yes.
That was also true?
Yes, up till 3 a.m.
Sure. And you were able to corroborate from Josie's cell phone records that the phone was not moving or active between about 3 a.m. and 9 a.m., is that correct?
I don't recall if I found it moving, but I don't think there's any use of it, correct?
Sure. There was nothing that indicated to you that the phone was active from those hours?
Correct.
And Ms. Dikeman had told you that she went to sleep at some point after 3 a.m.?
Yes.
All right. Now, she told you that she had been handed marijuana the night before, is that correct?
Yes.
And I just want to get the context here. Josie doesn't say that she was using the marijuana, is that correct?
No, she said it was Derek's marijuana.
Yeah. Said that Derek had handed it to her before the police arrived?
Yes.
All right. Sounded like he maybe wanted it concealed.
Yes.
And like effectively, I know it's not treated as harshly anymore, but effectively, like she went out of her way to admit to you that she participated in the crime of possessing marijuana.
Yes.
Okay. She volunteered that. Is that
Yes.
correct? She didn't say anything about Mr. Pedrin's Xanax at that point. Is that correct?
No.
And fair to say that you didn't ask her about Mr. Pedrin possessing Xanax or other drugs?
I did not.
Sure. That marijuana was eventually located during a search of the home?
I don't recall. I didn't do the search, so I don't recall the entire search.
Sure. You would recall if the marijuana had been located in concert with Xanax or other illegal drugs, is that correct?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, no Xanax or other illegal drugs were located in concert with that marijuana?
Like I said, I didn't do the search, so I don't recall.
Sure. So Josie told you that Alex would sneak around at night and look for treats?
Correct.
That's something that you were able to corroborate through all the other witnesses as well?
Some of them, yes.
She told you that, or she told you who she was talking to that evening. Is that correct?
Yeah, Laura Lee.
Laura Lee? And you were able to verify that that was true as well?
Yes.
And she actually pulls up must have been my chart or something, a list of medications that she was on,
Yes.
to go through and photograph all of her medications. Is that correct?
Correct.
She told you where the medications she was actively taking were located. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And she told you that she called her mother before calling 911. Is that correct?
Yes.
That was true as well?
Yes.
She didn't protest the fact that you're going to execute a search warrant of the home in any way, shape, or form. Is that correct?
You did not.
Sure. And in your interview with Ms. Dikeman, you learned that Mr. Pedrin had a recent history of trying to choke her. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
The previous week or whatever. Yes.
Lieutenant, you've investigated many cases of domestic violence. I know that, right?
Yes.
And fair to say that it's always a concern that somebody who is strangling or choking somebody might be a safety risk around children as well?
Possibly. Yes.
Sure. Because that can be lethal, correct?
Yes.
Now, fair to say that after Josie made that comment, you did not ask her about any abuse that was going on at home with Mr. Pedrin?
I did not.
Or with the children?
I did not.
All right. For the record here, Josie's lawyer at the time was Sean O'Neill.
I don't know who her attorney was.
Sure. You didn't interact with me or Mr. Bowles in the early course of this investigation. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. So I want to talk a little bit about the scene here. Did you author a police report around Ms. Dikeman's arrest, indicating your belief that she had staged the scene of Alex's death?
I don't recall if I said it that way, but
You can just stamp it over the bait stamp there. So, Lieutenant, I'm going to show you Exhibit 259. Why don't you take a look at it?
yeah, it's a report I did on May 19th.
Okay, looks like a portion of it would have been a portion of the report.
Yes.
Okay, in other words, I'm not showing you the entire document.
Just page 4.
Give it a read and refreshes your recollection as to whether or not you recorded in your report that the determination had been made that Josie staged the scene of Alex's death.
Yeah, it does say that in the summary, yes.
Okay, and you wrote that summary, correct?
Yes.
All right. So that was the working theory at the point that Josie was arrested?
I'd have to look at my previous reports, but yes.
Use for refreshing only, Your Honor. I'm not going to offer it.
Okay.
All right. So, approximately 3 days before you wrote that entry in your report, you received a document from the State Crime Laboratory about DNA testing. Is that correct?
I'd have to see that report, but yes.
recall the DNA report being addressed back to you?
Sure.
At the time, you would have been Sergeant John Williams?
Yes.
All right. And my assumption is that you sent that prednisone pill bottle into the state crime laboratory for testing to see who might have come into contact with it. Is that correct?
That's what we would do, yes.
All right. And obviously, if it came back with Ms. Dikeman's DNA or fingerprints on it, that might be evidence that would support this theory of staging. Is that correct?
It'd be an addition to it, yes.
And if it came back with Derek Pedrin's DNA or fingerprints on it, that might support the presumption that whatever was in that bottle had been handled by Mr. Pedrin. Is that correct?
Could.
And as you reviewed that DNA report, it did not indicate in any way.
Object, this is hearsay. The report should come in through the DNA analyst.
Well, Judge, I'm asking about the investigative decisions made in response to this.
Overruled.
Okay. So you reviewed this report, and am I correct in assuming that it did not list Ms. Dikeman as the source of DNA on that pill bottle?
I'd have to see the report. I don't recall.
Sure. Lieutenant, just take a look there. I'll note that this one, I misspoke. This one's addressed to Sergeant Amundsen, correct?
Investigator Amundsen
Yeah.
that day, yeah.
And you do recall reviewing this report and authoring a police report about it, correct?
Like I said, I haven't seen, I don't recall that, but I'd have to see my report. It's been 3 years, so.
Well, why don't you take a look at the exhibit there and just let me know if that looks familiar to you. Give you a chance to look at it?
Yes.
And does that appear to be the DNA summary that you reviewed?
Yes, but it doesn't list a standard for Miss Dikeman on there.
Sure. It doesn't list Ms. Dikeman as a source of DNA at all. Is that correct?
They wouldn't be able to test that unless they had a standard for her. So there's a testing for Alexavier.
Sure, sure. So Alexavier was listed as a source of DNA on that bottle, correct?
Yes.
And it appears here that the bottle was never examined for fingerprints. Is that correct?
I didn't do the testing, so I don't know.
You would have been aware if the bottle had been swabbed and any fingerprints had been lifted.
I would assume it would be on that.
Okay. I want to talk about this a little bit here. You noted in you noted that there were multiple possible sources of DNA on that bottle. Is that correct?
Like I said, I'd have to see my report.
Sure. And your testimony here is that there wasn't a DNA standard for Ms. Dikeman. Is that right?
By looking at that report you showed me, there was not one listed on there.
Okay. The entire purpose of sending that pill bottle in for testing is to determine who might have handled it. Is that correct?
Like you said, Sergeant Amundsen sent that in, so I was not aware of that unless I saw the report when it came back.
Okay. Well, you would have been the ranking officer when this was sent in. Is that fair?
Like I said, we didn't have a captain, so I was the sergeant in, basically, there's 2 sergeants and there's 2 investigator deputies. There was a lot of people in charge of this investigation. I was just one of them.
Sure. But you agree with me, Lieutenant, that certainly you had probable cause to get a search warrant for a swab of Ms. Dikeman's DNA for a control sample.
Correct.
and you could have gotten a search warrant for that DNA at any point in the last 3 years if we were to make a comparison. Is that correct?
Yes.
You agree that, to your knowledge, nobody in your department asked for Ms. Dikeman's DNA to compare to this pill bottle?
Yes, I don't know that.
The same thing with Mr. Pedrin. Nobody asked for Mr. Pedrin's DNA to be compared to the unknown male DNA in this pill bottle.
Like I said, I'm not familiar with the entire case. I was not in charge, so I don't know that.
Would you agree with me that there's very little utility in sending in a pill bottle for DNA analysis if we're not going to send in standards from the suspects?
Correct. Most of the time they won't accept it unless you have a standard.
And the only standard that you're aware of here is that of Alexavier Pedrin. Is that correct?
But looking at that report, yes.
You agree with me, Lieutenant, that there would be probable cause to seek out a search warrant for Mr. Pedrin's DNA under these circumstances?
Yes.
And you agree that that was never done as well?
I don't recall if that was or not.
Now, the pill bottle itself, you've had a chance to view, or if you had a chance to view photographs of it?
I vaguely remember a picture of it, yes.
And you recall there being some sort of residue in the interior of the pill bottle?
I don't recall that.
Sure. You agree, Lieutenant, that the State Crime Lab can and will test very small quantities of substances to determine what it is for you?
I'm assuming they would, yes.
And you agree with me, Lieutenant, that nobody asked the State Crime Laboratory to swab and test the interior of that pill bottle to determine if it was Xanax or any other substance?
That would be up to the state when it's sent in for testing. I have no idea.
Well, when something's sent in for testing, you have to fill out a form, correct?
Correct. I did not fill that form out.
Well, an investigator has to fill out a form, right?
Investigator Amundsen filled that form out, yes.
And that form would have to go in with the rationale for what it was being tested for, correct?
Correct.
And you can request certain things on that testing form, is that right?
Yes.
You can request fingerprint analysis, is that correct?
Yes.
You can request DNA analysis, is that correct?
Yes.
You can request testing for controlled substances, is that correct?
Yes.
I mean, in fact, your department regularly sends in very small amounts of suspected methamphetamine or fentanyl for testing by the State Crime Laboratory.
Yes.
You agree that there's nothing that would lead you to believe that that test had been requested in the course of this investigation?
Like I said, I was only on it for 2 months, so I don't know.
Well, this is the period of time, Lieutenant, in which you would have been the lead in the Sheriff's Department by your testimony. I'm asking you about that time frame.
Like I said, I was not the lead. I've repeated that twice. I don't remember the date on that, and I did not send that form in.
Okay. So you wrote in your police report that the conclusion had been made that Ms. Dikeman had staged the scene of Alex's death. Is that correct?
Based on several different observations, yes.
And you wrote that report after receiving the DNA results back from the State Crime Laboratory?
Yes.
Now, Lieutenant, you're aware that there was potential pill fragments recovered from Alexavier's pillow?
I was not in charge of the scene or the evidence.
Okay, so who was in charge of the scene?
Sergeant Amundsen was in charge of the scene and the evidence.
Are you telling me that in your briefings, in the course of this case, nobody informed you that there were possible pill fragments recovered from Alexavier's pillow?
I don't recall that at all, no.
You agree that that would be an important piece of evidence to collect and photograph?
Yes.
And it would be an important piece of evidence to send into the State Crime Laboratory for testing?
It would.
Because that could either confirm or disconfirm this theory that Josie had staged the scene to look like an overdose.
Yes.
You agree that that was never done?
Like I said, I don't recall. I wasn't in charge of the investigation after about 2 months.
Sure. To this day, Lieutenant, you have no idea what those pill fragments are. Is that correct?
This is the first I've heard of it today.
Now, you also came to that conclusion that Josie had staged the scene after knowing that her phone had been inactive for a period of 6 hours. Is that correct?
Can you repeat that?
You came to the conclusion that Josie had staged the scene to look like an overdose after you learned that her phone had been inactive between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. that morning?
I don't believe that had anything to do with it.
It's consistent with somebody going to sleep, fair to say?
Yes.
And the working theory here, as I understand it, was that Josie beat Alex up, gave him Xanax, and then just went to sleep.
Is that a question?
Was that the working theory when you concluded that she had staged the scene of Alex's death?
That was not my theory.
You agree that in your inspection of this cell phone, there was no attempt of Ms. Dikeman to Google, for instance, how to cover up child abuse, correct?
There was nothing like that on the phone.
Nothing like how to make a death look like an overdose, correct?
Correct.
Nothing like how do I fool the police or how do I fool CPS?
Correct.
And in fact, she gave you her cell phone when you asked her to do so. Is that right?
I've answered that, yes.
Okay. Let's talk about domestic violence. You agree that just like how people respond to trauma or emergencies, not all domestic violence victims respond in the same way?
Yes.
And I know for a fact you testified in many serious domestic violence trials. Is that correct?
I've never been in a domestic trial.
You've never been in a domestic violence trial?
I don't believe so.
Okay. You agree with me that no two survivors of domestic abuse will react the same way?
I'd agree with that.
Some will be very transparent and report what's going on at home.
Yes.
Others will be reluctant to do so.
Yes.
Still others will flat out lie and protect their abuser.
Yes.
And some of them are terrified of what might happen next if their abuser finds out what they say to police.
Correct. That's why we were asking if she was all right with him coming back.
And it appeared that you had some concern about Mr. Pedrin coming back because of his potential headspace. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Lieutenant Williams, I can't believe I have to ask you this question, but I'm going to ask it. Is it a good or legal excuse for a man to hit a woman because she eggs him on?
No.
Never, correct? All right. You don't blame survivors of domestic abuse when they're scared to talk about it?
No.
Because the tools that you as a police officer have aren't always perfect to deal with those individuals, correct?
Correct.
You agree that you can ask a judge to order a no contact, right?
You can ask, yes.
But in your experience, no contacts don't always stop abusers from going back.
Just a piece of paper.
Yep. And you understand that abusers can and do control women who are abused.
They can.
They can do the same thing with children who are abused.
I'm assuming so, yes.
And they can make an abused spouse or child feel like this is a normal relationship. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And sometimes it can be very difficult to get a survivor of domestic abuse to tell you the truth about what's happening at home.
Yes.
And if Ms. Dikeman's partner had been physically abusing her for up to 8 years, she may not have been ready to talk to that with you. Is that fair to say?
If that's true, yes.
Same thing if she had witnessed him abusing children for a substantial period of time. She may not have been ready to talk about that.
If that's true, yes.
Do you agree that it's fairly common for survivors of domestic abuse to ask to lift a no-contact order?
Happens every day.
Yep. And, certainly you didn't appear to blame Ms. Dikeman for wanting to lift that order after Alexavier had died. Is that fair?
Correct.
I want to talk to you a little bit about your interactions with a woman named Sharon Hellrood. Did you receive a series of phone calls from Sharon Hellrood?
Is that Major's grandmother?
Yes.
Yes.
Without going into the explicit content here, did you eventually tell Sharon Hellrood to stop talking to Major about what was happening in the home?
I did.
You did that because you didn't want a child's memory polluted before he went in for a forensic interview.
Correct.
And that is very standard police protocol for you to do that, correct?
Do that in every case.
the phone calls from Mrs. Hellrude was, it was more than one, correct?
If you're saying so, yes. I remember one for sure.
Okay. Now, in your review of Ms. Dikeman's cell phone, did you note any text messages where she expressed concern that Major was being brainwashed?
I don't recall, but I'd have to look at my report, I guess.
Okay, sure. You agree that nobody followed up with Sharon Hellrude as to what specifically the family was talking to Major about?
I don't believe so.
That nobody followed up with her to determine who was talking to Major?
We wouldn't normally do that. I would just give them advice not to talk to them.
Sure.
When we would do the forensic interview.
Sure.
Statement only being offered not for the truth of the matter, but for the effect on the listener. Go ahead.
I'm showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 261. It's a page from a larger police report. Give that a read. Let me know if you recognize that.
Yes, I recognize it.
Is that a report that you authored dated March 13th of 2023?
Yes.
And there's a text message in there that you noted in your report attributed to Ms. Dikeman. Is that correct?
That's so.
Nope, I am looking at this one down here at 7:47 and 37 seconds p.m. Do you see that?
Yes.
And I'm offering this not for the truth of the matter, but you reported that from Ms. Dikeman's phone, quote, "They are brainwashing Major." Is that, end quote, is that correct?
Yes.
And that was February 15th at 2023?
Yes.
It's important enough for you to put this in your report. Is that correct, Lieutenant?
Yes.
And you don't put facts that you deem to be irrelevant inside of your police reports. Is that right?
Most of the time, correct.
Offer 261 for the purposes used.
So what's, okay.
Let me ask the clarifying question here.
Judge, that's why I objected. That's exactly the reason.
Sure. All right. So Lieutenant Williams, something that was important enough to note in your report sometimes calls for follow-up. Is that correct?
Yes.
You agree that no investigator was assigned to follow up with the people caring for Major as to what that comment could refer to?
After my involvement, I don't know.
You agree that nobody was tasked with following up with Josie to see what she meant by that statement?
I believe Josie asked for an attorney the next time they tried to speak to her.
Sure. But nobody was tasked to go out there and say, what does this mean?
We couldn't question her because she didn't want to talk to us. She had an attorney.
You know, Lieutenant, was it ever on the radar to go out there and ask her about that?
Like I said, we couldn't speak to her anymore. She had an attorney.
And that attorney was Sean O'Neill?
If that's who it was, yes.
All right. So one of the activities that you were involved in was applying for a search warrant for Ms. Dikeman's medical records. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
And you did that because you wanted to determine what she had been prescribed. Is that correct?
Correct.
In particular, you wanted to know whether or not she was prescribed alprazolam or Xanax. Is that correct?
I just did it for an entire medical history.
Sure. But Xanax was a specific concern in this case after you received the autopsy report back. Is that correct?
I'd have to review my report again. I don't know if I received that autopsy report or not.
Are you saying, Lieutenant, that you're unaware that Alexavier had toxic levels of alprazolam in his bloodstream at autopsy?
Like I said, after the 2 months I was not on the case, I wasn't briefed about it. I overheard that through, I guess, small talk. But
right. Well, one of the reasons that you look for medical records in a case like this is because of what we call a Len bias homicide. Is that correct?
yes,
And just to give the jury a little bit of context just to give a little bit of context for that. Len Bias was a basketball player who was drafted in the first
I'm
round.
going to object to the relevancy of this. It's not charged as a Len Bias homicide. It's irrelevant.
Sustained, just,
Well, one of what you would explore is whether or not a child could have, or child or a victim could have overdosed from some substance that was provided to them. Is that correct?
Provided or they found, yes.
Sure. And it's something that your department regularly investigates, drug overdose, homicides. Is that correct?
Yes.
You can investigate and prosecute anybody on the chain of drug delivery for a first-degree reckless homicide. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
And it's something that you've done many times before. Is that correct?
I have not, no.
It's important to examine all potential sources of a medication or illegal drug that caused somebody's death. Is that correct?
We attempt to, yes. Or just an overdose, we attempt to.
And that's one of the reasons why you got a search warrant for Ms. Dikeman's medical records. Is that correct?
I already answered that, but it was for her entire medical history.
Sure. You noted Ms. Dikeman's prescription history?
Yes.
And it's correct in assuming that Ms. Dikeman does not appear to have ever been prescribed alprazolam or Xanax.
Correct.
So upon that, and that would have come back to you fairly early in the case. Is that fair to say?
Can you clarify the date?
Around, yep, March 29th of 2023.
Yes.
So, and you personally reviewed these medical records, is that correct?
If I did a report on it, yes.
So, one of the issues or one of the questions that remained after reviewing Ms. Dikeman's medical records is what was the source of the Xanax that led to Alexavier's death. Is that fair?
That's what I heard, yes.
Do you agree that, in your knowledge, nobody ever subpoenaed or obtained a search warrant for Derek Pedrin's medical records?
I'm not aware of that, no.
Lieutenant, I'm going to ask you another question here. I know what the answer is, but I have to ask you anyways. Is it true that there have been completely untrue allegations made about you and your role in this investigation by members of Alexavier's family?
Yes, several.
And is it in fact true that you have never had a sexual relationship with Ms. Dikeman?
I guess I never heard that, but no, never.
Okay. Is it in fact true that you did not go to the scene and help Ms. Dikeman stage this?
Absolutely not.
I've known you for years, Lieutenant. I believe you.
Judge, I'm going to ask that
Sure.
that be stricken. We shouldn't have references to someone and their credibility, especially not from the lawyers during testimony.
Okay.
sustained.
Sure. Withdrawn. I assume it was frustrating to be accused of something that you didn't do.
Judge, I'm going to object to the relevancy of any of this. I've never even heard of any of this. I'm not sure what the relevancy is.
It's just, given the allegations of issues, I'll allow the questioning. Go ahead.
I assume that it was frustrated to be accused of something that you didn't do.
I wasn't told of a lot of this stuff. I was basically quietly removed from the case, which I was very offended
By these allegations.
by the prosecution, yes.
Okay. Lieutenant, at the scene on February 11th of 2023, you made note that there were some apparent cameras in the house. Is that correct?
Yes,
At that time, you decided it was unnecessary to seize those camera devices.
correct. There would be anything on the cameras. It's on an app.
Sure. Now, Lieutenant, are you aware that the Division of Criminal Investigation considered Mr. Pedrin a person of interest in Alex's death?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'm asking if he's aware of it.
Vague. Timing.
Let me rephrase. Are you aware that Special Agent Michael Haverly testified at the preliminary hearing in this matter that Mr. Pedrin was considered a person of interest?
Objection is still vague as to timing. When was he considered a person of interest?
You made reference to the testimony of the special agent. I'll allow him to ask the question.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Are you aware of that?
Not aware of that.
Was that never a working theory when you were working on this case?
I wasn't called as a witness for the prelim. I wasn't called for any briefings around that time frame.
Was it something that was ever discussed in your briefings that Mr. Pedrin should be examined as somebody who was capable of causing these injuries to Alex?
I wasn't part of those briefings.
Now, fair to say that in the course of the part of the investigation that you did handle, you were aware that there's evidence that Mr. Pedrin was physically violent with others inside of his home?
He was out on bond, yes.
Okay. And you're aware of the fact that he has a history of battering and strangling Ms. Dikeman at the very least?
I don't know his history.
And you noted early in your investigation that Derek appeared to have lied to you at least at one point. Is that correct?
Can you tell me when?
Sure. Mr. Pedrin told you that he was done with Josie and only wanted to see the kids. Is that correct?
Correct.
But upon a review of some of Josie's text messages, you noted that that appeared to be untrue. Is
Yes.
that correct?
That's correct.
You noted numerous messages where he was trying to fix the relationship with
Objection
Josie.
calls for hearsay.
Sustained.
So, of the phone information that you reviewed from Ms. Dikeman's phone, you agree that it's important to review all of it?
Yes.
And you documented all the phone activity that you could from that evening of February 10th to February 11th?
I believe so, it is. Yes.
Sure. And is it fair to say that you did not document any of the videos pulled from Ms. Dikeman's phone of Mr. Pedrin behaving abusively?
I don't recall seeing those.
Did you watch the videos that were pulled from Ms. Dikeman's phone?
I just answered that. I don't recall seeing those.
Sure. That's an important piece of evidence that should be reviewed. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in the messages that you reviewed, you agree that there were a lot of them. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
I think we counted tens of thousands. Does that sound familiar?
Typical of a phone extraction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's pretty common for people to have a lot of messages because you can view even the deleted messages, correct?
Not all of them, but yes.
Okay. And that was your understanding of Ms. Dikeman's phone, that there were many, many text messages?
Yes.
You agree with me that you did not note a single one of those text messages recording Ms. Dikeman asking Derek to purchase her Xanax?
I don't recall. I think there was something related to Xanax at some point, but I don't recall the exact message.
But what I'm saying is there wasn't a single text message from Ms. Dikeman to Mr. Pedrin asking him to purchase Xanax. Is that correct?
There was a message. I don't recall exactly where it came from.
You would have noted if there were messages from Ms. Dikeman instructing Mr. Pedrin to buy her Xanax. Is that correct?
There would be a report, yes.
Can we assume that if that evidence was absent from your report, that you saw no such message?
Like I said, I recall a message. I don't recall where it came from.
Sure.
It was through.
Now, Mr. Pedrin claimed with you when you were still on this case early in this investigation that he was not violent with Alexavier. Is that correct?
I don't recall, but if you're saying that, yes.
You and your other investigators were learning early on that that was untrue. Is that correct?
I don't recall that.
You and your teammates early in this investigation interviewed Josie's mother, Rebecca Ehlers. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you were told that,
This calls for hearsay.
Sustain.
Your Honor, I'm asking for the officer's follow-up or lack thereof here.
Well, ask him what he did after they interviewed her. Go ahead.
You were given information in that interview that was concerning.
Objection, this is hearsay.
Sustain. What did they do after they got the information?
Well, after interviewing Ms. Ehlers, did anybody think to interview Mr. Pedrin about what she had reported?
Can you tell me the date I interviewed?
February 14th of 2023.
After that, I don't believe so.
In the course of investigating a child abuse death, Lieutenant, would it be important to follow up on a allegation that there was video of a parent strangling the child who died?
Yes, it would be.
You're aware that that accusation had been made by Ms. Ehlers.
Objection, this is hearsay. It has to be stricken. Stricken.
This hearsay. Sustain.
Your Honor, I'm offering it for the investigative follow-up here, not for the truth of the matter.
Okay. As long as it's not being offered for the truth of the matter, I'll allow you to ask the question.
You're aware that Ms. Ehlers reported to you and Investigator Amundsen that she had viewed a video of Derek Pedrin holding Alexavier by his throat against a wall.
I'd have to look at my report, but
Sure. Take a look at 262, Lieutenant. Let me know when you've had a chance to read it.
Judge, can we have a sidebar?
He's refreshing it, recollection. All right,
What?
come on up.
Was there any effort to interview Mr. Pedrin about what Ms. Ehlers had shared with you and Investigator Amundsen?
I don't think so. If I can add to that, it looks like it was, excuse me?
Nope, that was the question that I was allowed to ask here.
I wasn't done. but-
Well, the state can
Okay.
rehabilitate it. Go ahead.
Sure. In the review of Ms. Dikeman's cell phone, did you become aware of a video of Mr. Pedrin screaming at Alexavier whether or not he liked it getting his fucking ass beat?
Judge, I'm going to object. He's already testified that he did not review any of the videos from the cell phone. So that would be included in the videos from the cell phone.
Okay. Did not review them. Move on.
If that evidence existed, Lieutenant, is that something that Mr. Pedrin should be questioned about?
Yes.
You agree that nobody questioned Mr. Pedrin about what was happening in that video with Alexavier?
I wouldn't know that.
You're aware of whether any investigator in the course of this investigation reviewed the videos on Ms. Dikeman's phone depicting Mr. Pedrin acting abusively?
I don't believe so.
And that's certainly something that Mr. Pedrin should be questioned about. Is that fair?
Yes, but when there's images, I do internet crimes against children cases, there could be 100 and some gigabytes of data, and it would take months or years to go through all that information if I'm not aware of it.
Sure, but you had a number of people working on this team, is that right?
Yes,
In addition to you, we had Investigator Amundsen, correct?
yes,
Investigator Fritz Leinfelder,
yes,
Investigator Michael Valencia,
yes.
Sergeant Cernine at points.
3 of those don't normally go through a phone celebrate extraction. I wouldn't be familiar how to do that.
And there were many DCI agents involved in this as well, correct?
Yes,
Agent Jay Greeno,
yes,
Agent Michael Haverly,
yes,
Agent Adam Frederick.
yes,
I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but there were more than 3, correct?
yes.
And the explanation here is that between all of these investigators, nobody could go through the rest of the cell phone?
I guess there wasn't a decision made to send it to an analyst.
Now, you agree with me, Lieutenant, that this is not, or deciding not to go through the rest of the content on that phone is not consistent with exploring alternative explanations?
Like I said, I wasn't on the case any longer.
You aware of whether or not any investigator was ever tasked to confront Mr. Pedrin about lying about the source of Xanax in the home?
I don't know who spoke to Mr. Pedrin.
At the time that you were on this case, Investigator Williams, were you aware that Mr. Pedrin was a drug dealer?
I was not.
Objection. No testimony related to that whatsoever.
Sustain.
That'd be stricken.
Be stricken.
Well, Investigator or Lieutenant, have you been informed that Mr. Pedrin has acknowledged procuring prescription medications for others?
Objection mischaracterizes the testimony. I don't believe he said that, other than maybe for the defendant.
Judge,
Yeah, no, overruled on that.
are you aware of that?
I'm not.
That would be the definition of a drug dealer. Fair?
Can you restate your statement?
Just move from the question, go on.
Sure. Obviously, if the department had knowledge that a suspect was engaged in the distribution of controlled substances, it's something that should be investigated with that suspect.
I guess you could ask him, but he would probably lie.
To your knowledge, in the 2 months that you were involved, did anybody ask Mr. Pedrin about that?
Like I already answered, I was not aware of that.
Now, in the course of time that you were still on this case, are you aware that Mr. Pedrin was asked to disclose his cell phone to your department?
Objection calls for hearsay.
Sustain.
Did you or any other officer ask Mr. Pedrin to disclose his cell phone to your department?
Objection calls for hearsay unless he asked.
He was the head of the team. He would know if they were going to ask for the cell phone. I'll overrule the objection.
Were you aware of that in February of 2023, Mr. Pedrin was asked to provide his cell phone?
Can you give me a date? Because I don't recall that.
Would have been February 14th of 2023.
I don't know the officer if they asked. I'm not sure.
Okay. Is that a report that you wouldn't have reviewed or wouldn't have reviewed in your briefing?
Like I said, I reviewed most of the reports early on, but I was not part of any briefing after that.
Did you, Lieutenant, as somebody who was in charge of the investigation at that time frame, you agree that it would be important to examine Mr. Pedrin's cell phone for what he's saying about his child's death?
That'd be important, but I was not in charge of the investigation. There was multiple people. I was a sergeant. I have a captain above me. I was not in charge.
Okay, so is it your testimony then that that should have been within the purview of Captain, now Sheriff John Siegel?
It could have been my decision too, but I don't recall doing that, no.
Okay. You agree that to your knowledge, and at least during the course of your investigation, nobody asked or nobody insisted that Mr. Pedrin's cell phone be seized and searched?
I can't answer that, I don't know.
You would have recalled that if you had viewed Mr. Pedrin's cell phone, is that correct?
Yes.
Lieutenant, would you agree that it would be a mistake to not confront an alternative suspect and ask for an explanation of verifiably untrue statements?
Yes, it would be a mistake.
Would you agree that it would be a mistake for law enforcement officers to tell an alternative suspect that they're on his side effectively and they need to think like defense attorneys?
Can you tell me who said that? I don't know.
Investigator Leinfelder.
Okay. I wasn't present for that. That would be wrong.
That would be a mistake.
That'd be wrong.
Wrong. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So I want to just clarify some of the state's theory here, and if this is some. Do you, Sergeant, have any working theory, or did you have any working theory at the time that you were taking off this case for what happened leading up to Alexavier's death?
My title.
His theory is irrelevant. That's for the jury to decide.
I'm going to overrule. It goes to the issue of the course of the investigation. Go ahead.
My title's lieutenant, not sergeant.
Right, but you're a sergeant for a long time. My apologies. I'm creature habit.
The day of, there were some inconsistencies with their statement. You know, Alexavier was found on the ground, and she said he was in the bed.
So I want to get a sense of some of the theory here. So, like what you said was that the inconsistent statement is what led you to kind of target Ms. Dikeman. Is that correct?
It's not my theory. It's inconsistencies I saw. She explained she did CPR for 10 minutes. I asked what color the foam was because first responders, when they did CPR, it was black. She said it was white. For 10 minutes doing CPR on someone with black foam, you probably understand that they're probably not able to return. So I thought that was inconsistent. So
You assume the worst about her statements at that point. Is that correct?
Those were things that, I guess, jog my memory to this day. So
You're aware that Deputy Jar observed white foam initially from Alexavier's mouth?
initially, until he started doing CPR.
And you have no idea how hard Ms. Dikeman was doing CPR. Is that correct?
It didn't take much for when Jar did CPR to see the black foam.
So, Lieutenant, the question was you have no idea how hard Ms. Dikeman was doing CPR.
I wasn't present, correct?
So I want to get a sense of the timing then. Is my understanding here is that since nobody was present for Alex's death, nobody can say definitively when you would have received these injuries. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you know from Josie's phone activity that she was fairly active on her cell phone during that time frame. Is that correct?
Yes.
She takes a call from Mr. Pedrin from the Crosse County Jail after he was arrested. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
She texts back and forth with her friend Laura Lee Raines. Is that correct?
Yes.
She texts back and forth with Rafael Porfirio.
Yes, her friend.
She's Googling things like first date ideas in coffee shops near me.
Yes.
She looks like 2 calls from Laura Lee Raines, one a standard phone call, one a Facebook call. Is that correct?
Correct.
She took a series of selfies in bed with a child that you initially believed was Alex, but later found to be Brantley. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you agree that she and Brantley looked happy and smiling in that photographs, or those photographs?
I don't recall the date of the photograph, but yes.
Okay. And all of this is happening during the period of time where Josie was supposedly beating and drugging Alexavier to death.
Like I said, I don't recall the date of the photograph, So I'd have to review my notes on weeks, days prior to this, and maybe not happen that night.
Can I get the photo, please? Take it 254.
I'd stipulate that the photograph was taken at approximately 9, I believe it was like 9:15, 9:16 in the evening.
Is that, Mr. Zachar, is that stipulation, are you agreeing that it was at 9?
I'm agreeing it was at 9:15, but I still want to use it.
Go ahead. What exhibit is that again?
For Your Honor.
Okay.
Lieutenant, is this the one of the photographs that you viewed, that selfie with Josie and Brantley?
Yes.
And you agree with me that the two of them look fairly happy in this photograph?
Yes.
Doesn't look like somebody who's about to beat her child to death in the bed next to her son?
I can't say that. Someone could.
Brantley doesn't look like he's terrified of his mother in this photograph?
Does not.
And these photographs were taken in the midst of all of these other text messages and phone calls that you documented. Is that correct?
As you stated, it was the night before at 9 o'clock at night.
Ms. Dikeman also texted Mr. Pedrin's mother to let her know that Derek was in jail. Is that correct?
I don't recall that, but
Sure. So, just so I understand the theory here, while she's planning a first date, texting other people, having a conversation with the man she was going to meet, having multiple conversations with Laura Lee Raines, taking these selfie photos, at some point in the midst of all of this, Lieutenant, Ms. Dikeman murdered Alexavier.
I don't know the exact cause of death, but there was like multiple injuries from weeks prior. That's what I understand. So if you're saying that she killed him that night, I have no idea.
You agree that in the course of your investigation when you were involved, or did you ever ask yourselves why Ms. Dikeman would do something like this?
But ask
And
me something.
calls for a commentary on motive, which is not an element.
It's not an element, but it's certainly relevant, Judge.
I'll sustain the objection.
You never identified any motive for Ms. Dikeman to kill Alexavier.
I don't know what the final motive or what they believed was, so.
Lieutenant, earlier in this case, you authored a number of search warrant applications. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in particular, one of them was to Verizon on February 27th of 2023. Is that correct?
Sure.
And in that search warrant application, you explained your theory of the case at that time. Is that correct?
I'd have to review it, but
You indicated that you were investigating a negligent death at that time. Is that correct?
yes.
Did not include language about first-degree intentional homicide or child abuse. Is that correct?
If that's what you're saying, I'd have to look at it.
Sure. And you make warrant applications under oath, correct?
Yes.
Same oath that you took here today, correct?
Yes.
And you're telling the truth when you made that search warrant application. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, one of the things that was returned, and that was a warrant for a very limited number of text messages on Mr. Pedrin's cell phone. Is that correct?
I don't recall. I'd have to see my report.
You recall getting a return from that search warrant while you're still on this case?
I'd like to see the report.
We're working on the report here, but I'm going to show you a text message here for 222. Do you recall receiving that text message from the Verizon return?
I'd have to have some glasses to
What's
see.
that?
I'd have to have some glasses to see this. I don't.
Would it help if I put it up on the Almos?
Yes. Sorry.
All right. Can you read that now, Lieutenant?
I cannot. Okay.
Cannot?
Oh, hold on. I can. Yes.
All right. So, were you aware that on February 9th of 2023, somebody contacted Mr. Pedrin asking he still have scripts? And his response was, I may, I will let you know in 10.
Yes, this is what I was talking about before, about the Xanax,
Sure.
where it says the.
Mr. Pedrin's phone, and that was an unknown number texting him. Is that correct?
I don't believe that's an unknown number. I'm sure it's in a report somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, the originating phone is who is sending the text message. Is that correct?
Correct.
And we have that phone number right up there on the Alamo, correct?
Yes.
Are you saying that nobody from your department called that number to see who was asking Mr. Pedrin for scripts?
We would normally call someone. We would do a different
Sure.
search for it.
Nobody tried to determine who that was asking Mr. Pedrin for scripts.
You'd have to show me my report.
If I told you that there was no such report, would that be consistent with nobody taking that action?
If that's the truth, yes.
And Mr. Pedrin's response there is, I may, I will let you know in 10. Do you see that?
Yes.
So, Lieutenant, this certainly sounds like a drug transaction in the works. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
It's certainly something that Mr. Pedrin should be asked about when this is his phone receiving that text and him exchanging text with that number.
Correct.
Are you aware of whether anyone from law enforcement asked him why he appeared to be engaged in some sort of a drug transaction 2 days before Alexavier's death?
I don't recall that, no, but I'd like to see my report on when this was recovered.
Certainly a very relevant piece of evidence. Would you agree?
Can't agree unless I see my report.
Sure. We're working on it. We have Sergeant Amundsen's, and maybe we'll bring that up with him.
Okay.
But if Mr. Pedrin was not questioned about that text message, would you agree that that would be an investigative error?
Be a mistake, yes.
If Mr. Pedrin was not questioned about videos in which he was confronted about buying and using Xanax, would that be an investigative error?
Objection. Lack of foundation. There's been no such videos have even been shown to exist.
Okay, sustain.
Judge, Lieutenant, is it a crime to threaten to kill somebody?
If they're intending to, yes. If they've made, I guess, other motions to that, just not the statement, no.
If it's a true threat, it is indeed a crime. Is that correct?
If they have a way of doing it, yes.
And would you agree with me that if witnesses in your investigation threaten to kill somebody, that should be investigated?
It should be looked at, yes, if it's credible.
Is it a crime, Lieutenant, for witnesses to tell others not to comply with a defense lawyer's subpoena?
Objection. This is vague.
No, sustain.
It is intimidation of a witness is a crime. Is that correct?
I'm going to object. This is also vague. Who's doing it? When? Where?
Okay.
You don't need an education on the statutes.
Is it a crime for Mr. Pedrin to tell his ex-girlfriend, Misty Craig, that she does not need to comply with a subpoena that was served on her to appear in court?
Objection, it calls for hearsay. Objection, lack of foundation. Objection, no facts and evidence.
State just objected to not having details. The court's going to overrule the objection to allow him to ask the questions. Go ahead.
Would that be a crime, Lieutenant?
If it can be proven, yes.
And is that something that should be investigated?
It should be looked into, yes.
Is it a crime to tell a witness, or for Mr. Pedrin to tell a witness, that if she cooperated with the defense, he would kill her, cut off her head, and give it to her mother in a box?
Objection, this calls for hearsay. No evidence.
Right. Okay, I'm going to just sustain the objection. It is hearsay. Allowed it already. It's already noted a crime to threaten a witness. Go
Sure,
ahead.
sure. All right. In the course of the investigation that you were involved in, are you aware that a subpoena was issued for Jenna Love's prison records in Missouri?
I believe so.
Okay. And you're not going to subpoena records that you believe to be irrelevant, is that correct?
Correct.
You're aware that the return on that subpoena included hundreds of hours of recorded phone calls?
I'm not aware.
Is it your understanding, Lieutenant, at least to the extent that you were involved, that nobody listened to those recorded phone calls between Ms. Love and Mr. Pedrin?
Did I send the warrant? I don't believe I did.
I'm asking, did anybody listen to these phone calls if you're aware of it?
I'm not aware of phone calls, no.
Would you agree that if there were statements relevant to Alexavier's death in those phone calls, that they should be listened to and investigated?
Objection calls for speculation. He's not aware.
He's already said he's not aware, so let's
Sure.
move on.
All right. So, Lieutenant, do you agree with me that when Josie turned over the passcode to her cell phone, that's not something that law enforcement is able to compel, her to speak the passcode out loud?
Correct.
So she did that voluntarily and willingly, correct?
Correct.
And that passcode unlocked her phone, is that correct?
It did.
Nothing further.
Let's take a break this morning before we go on, and I've been going a long time here. We've been going on a long time, I should say. Let's take about a 10, 15-minute break. Don't talk about the case. We'll see you in a bit.
Good morning again, Lieutenant Williams.
Morning.
You're aware through your review of the cell phone that the only text message that was found on either Mr. Pedrin's return or the defendant's return that mentioned Xanax was on the defendant's phone, correct?
Objection mischaracterizes the question and the response.
Was it mischaracterized? Yeah.
Overrule.
You're aware that there's a message on the defendant's phone mentioning Xanax, correct?
Yes.
You're aware that there's a message on the defendant's phone to her own mother, asking her own mother if her own mother wants to try Xanax, correct?
I don't recall that, but
Okay.
if that's in my report, yes.
If that's in the investigation, then you have no reason to doubt that. Is that fair?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you confirmed already the defendant does not have a prescription for Lazepam or Xanax, correct?
Correct.
If the defendant sent that text message to her mother, that text message would indicate that the defendant possesses Xanax, correct?
Objection argumentative.
Sustained.
Does that question suggest that the defendant has Xanax?
Objection argumentative.
not argumentative.
Question was, is that whether she asked her mom if she wanted to try Xanax?
If the message says, do you want to try Xanax, that message presumes the defendant has Xanax to share, correct?
You'd assume that, yes.
Okay. And the defendant doesn't have a prescription for Xanax, correct?
Correct.
And you're not aware of Ms. Ehlers, the defendant's mother, having a prescription for Xanax either, correct?
I don't know, no.
You were asked the definition of a drug dealer before when you were talking about text messages from Mr. Pedrin's phone.
Yes.
If you are giving medication that you don't have a prescription for to another person that does not have a prescription for that, that's also the definition of a drug dealer, isn't it?
Yes.
And if you're getting hydro pills from your mother and you don't have a prescription for that, that would also be the definition of a drug dealer, right?
Objection beyond the scope of cross, argumentative.
Overruled.
Yes,
That would also meet the definition of a drug dealer, correct?
it would.
And if there's text messages between the defendant and her mother where the defendant is expressing that she has oxy pills and she's about to have surgery and asking her mother if she wants those pills, that would also meet the definition of someone who's a drug dealer. Isn't that correct?
Objection, facts not in evidence, hearsay beyond the scope of the other act's motion, relevance, argumentative.
Let's move on. You made your point. Go ahead.
And you yourself did not perform the full analysis of this phone, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You said that at some point in time you had surgery
Yes.
and then you were also promoted. Is that correct?
No.
Lieutenant of patrol,
In June of 2024.
June of 2024, you became the lieutenant of patrol?
Yes.
Okay. You also referenced at some point that you were no longer on this case. Is that true?
Correct.
And you referenced that being as a result of the prosecution?
Yes.
Okay. I was not on that case at that point in time, correct?
Correct.
You and I, in fact, just met this week.
Correct.
The defense talked about some of the concerns relative to this case. You went to high school with the defendant's mother. Is that correct?
I did not.
You did not? You've known the defendant's mother for a long period of time?
I ran track, which is hard to believe, but yes, I knew her through, I believe she went to La Crescent High School.
Okay.
So,
So that's how you knew the
Yes.
defendant's mother. I apologize, I got that wrong.
yes,
I ran track too, may also be hard to believe. So, and you've known the defendant through past interactions, is that correct?
a couple times, yes.
And through those interactions, you know the defendant has had struggles with pain.
Objection,
right?
Judge.
Sustain.
Move to strike.
Move to strike. Jury to disregard.
If someone else performed a full phone extraction and an analysis of the phone, that person would be the best person to testify as the results of that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you were also asked during cross-examination about a number of things that the defendant said on the morning of February 11th, 2023, that, according to the defense, were truthful. Do you remember that?
Yes.
They provided a whole list of things that they said, according to them, proved to be truthful, correct?
Yes.
Now, one of the things the defense did not list in the litany of things that they said proved to be truthful was the defendant's statement that Alexavier slept from 5 p.m. to 7 to 8:30 p.m., correct?
Correct.
They did not provide that one to you, correct?
Correct.
Now, if the medical examiner says that the injuries were inflicted that evening or the next morning, and the only other adult in the home was removed during the time frame that the defendant says that Alexavier was asleep, that leaves one person and one person only, according to your investigation, that could have inflicted the injuries. Isn't that right?
Objection, argumentative, assumes facts not in evidence, mischaracterizes the testimony of Dr. Quinton.
Overruled because the defense has already brought up the issue of the theory of the investigation. Go ahead.
This is according to the theory of the case. The defendant told you that Alexavier was asleep from 5 to 7 to 7:30, correct?
Correct.
And you know as a fact, based on the information you have from your department, that Mr. Pedrin was arrested during that time frame.
Yes.
You also know from the investigation from your department that Deputy Kernine laid eyes on Alexavier.
He did.
And he observed him to only have one slight injury above the eye,
Yes.
and he also observed him to be sleeping, correct?
Correct.
And you also are aware that Kernine had that interaction with the defendant present, correct?
Yes.
And the defendant reported no concerns to Deputy Kernine.
Correct.
And you're aware that after that, Mr. Pedrin was removed from the home.
Yes, a short time after that.
And you're aware, based on your investigation on the morning of February 11th, 2023, that Mr. Pedrin remained in jail that whole time
Yes,
because you had to have people notify him in the jail.
correct.
You found out that his family met with him in the jail.
Yes,
And you yourself called the jail to have a conversation with him
yes,
multiple times.
yes.
And all of that information, plus the information from the medical examiner, leads to only one person that could have inflicted those injuries, isn't it?
Objection, argumentative, calls for a legal conclusion.
Ms. Tang,
Is that your theory of the case?
Objection.
that, allow him to ask if that was his theory.
Is that your theory of the case?
That's what I was told, yes.
And the theory of your department, correct?
Of the department, yes.
I want to talk a little bit about the DNA report that you were shown. The DNA report that you were shown does not exclude Ms. Dikeman, does it?
Does not.
Okay, there was not a comparison made of Ms. Dikeman's DNA, was there?
Was not.
Okay, and so if there was a representation made that the DNA testing in this case excluded Ms. Dikeman, that would not be a true representation.
Objection, argumentative.
I'll withdraw.
Go ahead.
The pill bottle that was recovered from the scene was Ms. Dikeman's pill bottle, is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
The DNA testing that was being conducted in this case was for touch DNA, is that correct?
Yes.
All the pill bottles that were recovered in that bag were Ms. Dikeman's pills and pill bottles, is that correct?
I didn't look I didn't look through all of them, so I'm not sure.
You don't know for sure.
I'm not sure.
Fair to say if it has her name on it and it's her pill bottle and it's a bag of her pill bottles and it's her purse, it's likely that her DNA is going to be found in that bag.
Should be.
It's not going to be an unexpected result.
Correct.
And so DNA testing of the defense DNA provides little, if any, evidentiary value. Isn't that correct?
True.
Argumentative.
Overruled.
It's expected that her touch DNA would be there.
Assume it would be, yes.
I'm going to show you what's States Exhibit 77. It's your report from February 11th, 2023. I just want you to review. I'm going to point to a line on page 4 of 9. It's the last paragraph that starts before interview of Josie Dikeman. It's right there. It starts off with, "It should be." You just read that and let me know when you're done.
Okay.
Does reviewing your report, States Exhibit 77, refresh your recollection regarding Deputy Jar and his handling of that pill bottle and what you observed on body cam?
Yes.
And what did you observe on body cam when you saw Deputy Jar handling that pill bottle?
He did not have gloves on.
He actually did not have gloves on, right?
Yes.
And so it may be expected that you would get his DNA on there as well, correct?
Correct.
Or his fingerprints.
Possibly, yes.
You were asked questions about residue in the pill bottle, fair?
Yes.
You yourself did not examine the pill bottle for the inside, did you?
I did not.
Okay. Do you know what kind of medication prednisone is and what kind of outside capsule it has?
I believe it's a childproof capsule.
You're talking about the bottle. I mean the pill. I
Oh,
apologize.
the pill? I
Judge,
recall.
I guess I'm going to object lack of foundation. Lieutenant Williams is not a pharmacist.
Asking if he knows.
You can ask him if he knows. Go ahead.
I believe it's a capsule.
It's a capsule.
Yes.
That capsule is not, that has a hard outside, correct?
Correct.
And a hard outside pill capsule does not leave residue, does it?
Correct.
Okay. And you don't know because you didn't expect it whether or not there was even residue there, correct?
I wasn't aware of it until.
Defense counsel asked you a number of questions relative to what he referred to as pill fragments. Have you ever seen anything on a property report by the Crosse County Sheriff's Office that refers to any little particles collected as pill fragments?
That was the first I heard it today.
Was him using that phrasing, correct?
Yes.
Are you aware of anyone in the department using the phrasing pill fragments other than his representation to you that there were pill fragments recovered?
Like I testified to, I'd never heard of that until today.
Till today, from him.
Correct.
Same thing about the representations about Misty being threatened. Did you ever hear that today other than from him?
I believe there may have been something said about that, but I didn't hear the specific details. Or
You didn't hear the specific
words.
details?
Yeah.
And you don't know if that came from him originally?
Section speculation.
He's saying wait, there's confusion about what his answer is. He said he heard not from Mr. Zachar, but from the investigation?
Did you hear from someone other than Mr. Zachar?
Yes,
Do you know who that was?
I don't recall.
Do you know if that was based on representations made during the trial?
No.
You don't know that?
No, I do. It was back during the investigation.
If there was follow-up done on that text message chain that Attorney Zachar showed you between Mr. Pedrin and someone else, you didn't do that, correct?
Correct.
You wouldn't have any knowledge of that, correct? Because you were no longer involved in the investigation?
Correct.
And the text message exchange that you were shown, it didn't say what type of substance that individual was trying to receive, did it?
No.
The text message exchange also ended with the person saying, that's a long 10 minutes, isn't it?
Yes.
Or something to that effect.
Yes. Something.
Meaning Mr. Pedrin didn't ultimately respond.
Objection, lack of foundation, calls for speculation.
Sustained.
You saw the text message exchange, correct?
Yes.
The last message indicated that that's a long 10 minutes, correct?
Yes.
There was no message shown after that.
Correct.
There was no exchange after that.
Correct.
You were asked about follow-up interviews of Mr. Pedrin, is that true?
Yes.
Okay. You're aware that Mr. Pedrin was interviewed a number of times following February 11th, 2023.
Yes.
Number of times by law enforcement.
Multiple times. Yes.
Cooperated with law enforcement.
I believe so. Yes.
He's willing to answer questions of law enforcement during each one of those interviews.
Yes.
You're aware that forensic interviews were conducted in this case, aren't you?
Yes.
In fact, you detailed the forensic interviews in your report, didn't you?
I did.
You know that in the forensic interviews that were conducted that the children made allegations involving the defendant, correct?
Correct.
The children did not make allegations involving Mr. Pedrin, did they?
Objection, hearsay, and it's an issue for the jury to make that determination after hearing that testimony.
Yep, forensic interviews are actually a hearsay exception, so, and he's seen them.
I'm overruling it because, go ahead. Overrule.
You're aware that the children made disclosures about the defendant, correct?
Yes.
And not Mr. Pedrin, correct?
Correct.
They made allegations of the defendant engaging in choking, correct?
Yes.
They made allegations of the defendant hitting.
Yes.
And that was done 2 days after the initial on-scene investigation, isn't that right?
Yes.
Now, you're also asked some questions about Sharon Hellrude and some information that she provided to you, correct?
Correct.
There was one phone message that you received from Sharon Hellrude before the initial forensic interview of Major, isn't that right?
Objection,
Yes.
leading.
Overruled. Go ahead.
There's one phone message?
Yes.
Okay. And in that phone message where Ms. Hellrude shared concerns, none of those concerns were the topic of concern of the forensic interview of Major, isn't that right?
Correct.
It had nothing to do with what was discussed in the forensic by Major
Correct.
or what Major disclosed.
Correct.
You talked about some inconsistencies between what the defendant reported on the morning of February 11th, 2023 and what your initial investigation showed. You recall that discussion with Attorney Zachar?
Yes.
One of the things you brought up was CPR. Explain the inconsistencies you saw between what the defendant said and what you observed relative to CPR and what you were told relative to CPR.
I had asked her if
How is this relevant, and how is this not argumentative and an issue for the jury?
Goes to the theory of the case.
Well, it was brought up by the defense also. That's opened the door. Go ahead.
I had asked her specifically if it was black in color because that's what I was told by the responding officers. She clarified it was white. So if CPR was started, then the black substance would have came up, which would most likely be dried blood.
You also saw the body cam of...
Objection, move to strike that last answer, speculation.
Sustain.
You saw the body cam of Deputy Jar?
Yes.
You saw how quickly the black substance came up? You observed it came up before he even started CPR.
Yes.
And Ms. Dikeman, the defendant, told you she performed CPR for 10 minutes.
Yes.
And Deputy Jar didn't even perform CPR and it started coming up.
Correct.
The defendant also told you that Alexavier's body was on the floor, correct?
Yes.
Told that on the 911 call
Yes.
multiple times.
Yes.
His body was on the bed.
Yes.
Something else I wanted to ask you about, Lieutenant. Just give me 1 minute. I apologize. I remember. Was one of the other inconsistencies the defendant saying that she was looking for Alexavier that morning?
Yes.
The defendant, in fact, according to your phone examination, was texting people at 9:07 a.m.
Correct.
And the phone call to her mother is after around 9:21.
Yes.
Phone call to 911 is 9:25.
Yes.
And she told you in your interview that when she woke up, she was looking for him, correct?
Correct.
She said she slept in the same room as him,
You did.
that he was right next to her.
Yes.
According to her, his body was on the floor.
Yes. Would have been 4 feet.
And she said she was looking for him.
Yes.
Thank you, Lieutenant. That's all I have.
Recross?
Yes. Lieutenant, I want to start with the text message that you referenced about Josie's mother, or Josie contacting her mother asking if she wanted to try Xanax. Do you recall that question?
Yes.
You recall what date that text message was from?
I do not.
I told you that it was July 6th of 2021. Does that sound familiar?
It's probably accurate.
Approximately in the range of about a year and a half or more before Alex died.
Yes.
And you have no idea what Josie's apparent source of Xanax was at that point. Is that correct?
Correct.
You have no idea if it was Mr. Pedrin offering Xanax to members of the family. Is that correct?
It's answered. I don't know who she would have gotten it from.
But with respect to Mr. Pedrin, you don't know that. Is that
I
correct?
do not know that.
So, as I understood your theory on my cross-examination initially was that you weren't on the case long enough to really form a theory. Did I hear that correctly?
Correct.
The theory that Mr. Torbensen just read to you, is that something that you're hearing for the first time here today?
Some of it, yes.
Okay. And it's not a theory that you formed or were working on in the course of this investigation. Is that correct, Lieutenant?
I testified to there was inconsistencies that I thought
Sure.
that led to it, yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the DNA comparison here. The only reason that that bottle was sent into the state crime laboratory would have been for forensic testing to see who handled it. Is that a fair assumption?
That's incorrect. It would be sent because there was like I heard today, there was a substance in it to determine what the substance was.
Okay. Sure, and that's something that should have happened, correct, Lieutenant?
See what the substance was, correct.
And you were asked some questions about prednisone. I'm going to ask you, are you a pharmacist?
I'm not, but my son had prednisone, and
Are you aware, Lieutenant, that drugs are produced in many different formulations and by many different companies?
not prednisone, no.
Your testimony that prednisone only comes in one format and no other pills?
That's what I'm familiar with.
The prednisone that your son took, correct?
Yes.
You have no idea what prednisone looks like from all of the major drug makers who produce it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you have no idea if prednisone comes in tablets, capsules, or other formats. Is that correct?
I do not know that.
Right. And you mentioned that You weren't aware of any residue on my cross-examination, is that correct?
Any residue?
In the
You
pill
had-
bottle?
You had brought that up.
I brought it up, yep.
I was not aware of that.
So like your testimony on cross-examination was that it was sent in to determine whether or not somebody had handled the bottle. Is that correct?
Like I said, I didn't send it in. I didn't fill out the transmittal. There's a transmittal you have to fill out with your probable cause and explain what you're looking for. I don't know what that said.
So if somebody had sent the pill bottle in for testing of the substances inside, you would expect the crime lab to follow through and do that. Is that fair to say?
I'm not a pharmacist, but I'd assume they'd probably test that substance before or besides just the touch DNA.
No, I'm asking, would you assume that the crime laboratory would test it for substances if that's what was indicated on the request form?
Yes, I'd assume they'd do that
Sure.
either way.
And can we assume from the fact that we only received a DNA report back that that's what the crime lab did with this bottle?
I'd be assuming, yes.
Sure. Now, in terms of the bottle itself, Lieutenant, if you're looking to see who handled this bottle, there's absolutely no reason not to get a swab from Ms. Dikeman if she's the suspect. Is that correct?
There wouldn't be much of a reason if it's her pill bottles. She would have already touched it. That's assumed.
Well, you got a swab from Alexavier and sent that in along with the sample. Is that correct?
Yes, because we were trying to prove that he didn't touch the bottle.
And the DNA on the bottle did come back to Alexavier. Is that correct?
I'd have to see it again, but I believe so, yes.
Now, Lieutenant, if you're trying to rule out other sources or transfer DNA, it'd be easy to get a control swab from others who may have touched or handled that bottle. Is that fair?
Can you repeat your question?
If you're trying to rule out either transfer DNA or contamination, you can get a control swab from anybody who touched that bottle. Is that correct?
You could, but in a case like we've had before, if an item's touching the ground, there could be several people in and out of that house. So that'd be.
So if
Could
there's
do
a
that.
concern about Deputy Jar touching the bottle, you could ask him to provide a control sample to rule him out as a source of some of this unknown DNA. Is that correct?
Yes.
Nobody did that. Is that correct?
I don't know if there was any unknown DNA found on that bottle.
And if you wanted to rule out Mr. Pedrin as a source of this DNA, you could have asked him for a control swab. Is that correct?
Like I said, I don't know if there was any undetermined DNA on that bottle. I believe it just showed Alexavier.
Now, Lieutenant, if the report that you reviewed indicated that there were a mixture of at least one other unknown male on that bottle, is that something that you recall reviewing?
I'd have to look at it again, but if you're saying.
It's one of their most recent ones.
Oh, you left it.
Lieutenant, I'm showing 260. Why don't you flip to page 2 for me? Just review that.
Okay.
Does that refresh your recollection?
Yes.
And does it appear to you that a mixture of at least 2 unknown males was present on the swabs from the pill bottle?
There's at least 2 males. It doesn't say unknown.
Sure.
But
And we don't know who the at least one other male would be, correct?
correct. If the pill bottle was on the ground, could be multiple people coming in and out of the house.
So let me get this straight. The pill bottle was sent in for DNA comparison to see whether or not Alexavier had touched the bottle. Is that correct?
Correct.
And there was no attempt to identify the source of any of the other DNA found on that bottle. Is that correct?
Correct.
You agree that you're familiar with the process for seeking out a search warrant for third-party suspects in cases like this?
I've never done that, no.
Do you agree that you're familiar with how to apply for a search warrant for somebody's DNA?
Yes,
And you agree that that didn't happen with respect to Mr. Pedrin?
if you're saying so, yes.
All right. So, Lieutenant, I'm going to be quick here, but I have a couple of photos here. So, showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 263. Does this appear to be an interior view of the prednisone bottle that was recovered?
All I can tell is it's a picture of a bottle. I can't say for sure that's the same bottle, but if you're saying it is,
When a bottle like that is recovered from a crime scene, it remains in your evidence locker, is that correct?
yes,
And you're aware that those materials are available to inspection by the defense team?
yes,
Okay. Offer 263.
Any objection?
No objection. I don't think he said what it is. I mean, I don't think he says that's the pill bottle that was recovered. He just said it's a pill bottle.
Sure, and I have another photo to follow up on that as well, so.
Okay, well, I'll be received conditionally. Go ahead.
All right. So, Lieutenant, I've got a zoomed-in view of this bottle here. Do you recall your testimony on cross-examination or on redirect that, in your experience, prednisone would be pill capsules that don't leave residue?
yes,
Would you agree with me that on this particular image there appears to be visible whitish residue?
yes, but people put multiple pills in other pill bottles that they carry around.
Yep.
So,
And I agree with you on that. Without testing what that residue is, Lieutenant, you can't tell us exactly what that would have been. Is that fair to say?
correct,
You can't tell us who would have put that substance into that pill bottle. Is that correct?
that's correct,
And I assume that you've investigated cases where people who are selling or using drugs will actually use a legal pill bottle to control or conceal a controlled substance.
multiple times, yes.
Lieutenant, I'm showing you 264. Does that appear to be a view of a similar or the same looking pill bottle from the previous image?
Yes, yes,
And who is that? What does the prescription label on that say?
for Josie Dikeman, looks like quantity of 12 for prednisone.
Okay. Appears consistent with the other half of the bottle that I showed you previously.
If that's the same bottle, I can't say that.
Offer 264.
No objection.
263 and 64 will be received fully.
So, Lieutenant, do you recall discussing on scene with other investigators the fact that possible pill fragments were recovered?
Can you repeat that?
Do you recall on February 11th discussing with other investigators about possible pill fragments being located on the pillow of the bed?
I don't remember that.
Sure. You agree that if those fragments or that material were collected, law enforcement would have had a good reason to do so?
Yes,
You're not going to collect something that's not evidence?
I disagree with that. We collect a lot of things that are not evidence, but we assume it might be needed.
Sure. You agree that you never interviewed Misty Craig, is that correct?
I don't recall who Misty Craig is.
Do you recall whether any investigator while you were working on this case interviewed Misty Craig?
I can't answer that.
Sure. You agree, investigator, that you have no idea if there was a phone call or social media message that followed up after that text exchange on February 9th that we were just talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The scripts text where Mr. Pedrin was asked for scripts. You agree that you don't know whether or not Mr. Pedrin had followed up with a phone call, a social media message, or other form of contact?
I don't know.
Is it cooperative with law enforcement if a suspect or witness refuses to allow you access to your cell phone?
Can you read?
Is it considered cooperation if a suspect or person of interest refuses to allow law enforcement to access their cell phone?
Objection is beyond the scope of redirect.
Overruled.
Would it be cooperation if they refuse?
If they
Probably not.
refuse to allow law enforcement access to their cell phone?
People have rights, so I wouldn't say it's necessarily not cooperating, but yes.
The only person that granted you access to their cell phone in this case was Ms. Dikeman. Is that right?
That's the only one I asked.
And Mr. Pedrin, to your knowledge, never authorized law enforcement to examine his cell phone.
I can't answer that.
Ms. Dikeman did not tell you how long she was looking for Alexavier on the other side of the bed. Is that correct?
Correct.
And Alex would have been on the opposite side of the bed where Josie was sleeping. Is that correct?
On the left-hand side, I believe it was a queen-size bed.
Sure. I think we're all ready for lunch. That's all I have for you, Lieutenant.
Redirect.
Briefly. Doesn't take 13 minutes to search a bedroom when you're on the other side of the bed, does it?
A very small room.
Yeah. The DNA results that you were shown, we already know that Alexavier is a likely contributor for one of the male DNAs, right?
Yes.
And the report says 2 male individuals?
Yes.
And we also know that Deputy Jar touched the bottle
Yes.
and handled the bottle, correct?
Correct.
We also know the bottle was moved from the floor to the bed, correct?
Correct.
Where there could be multiple other individuals' DNA also on the bed,
Multiple.
correct?
Correct.
All of that can have an impact on the DNA, correct?
Correct.
Including Mr. Pedrin if he slept in that bed.
Yes.
You were asked about the text message from Ms. Dikeman to her mother referencing Xanax from July of 2021, correct?
Correct.
That doesn't mean that's the only day she ever used or possessed Xanax, is it?
Probably not.
It just means that's the day that we have a message demonstrating Xanax, correct?
Yes.
You were also asked about residue and shown photographs of what the defense purports to be residue on a pill bottle. You're not aware of what the crime lab needs in terms of the quantity or amount of something to test it, correct?
Correct.
All right. If that's residue, that's really trace minor amounts. Is that correct?
It is.
And it would be the crime lab would be in the best position to say whether or not that could even be tested. Isn't that right?
Yes, they would most likely call back or send an email. Is there something else you want done with this?
They would be the professionals to ask those questions, not you.
Correct.
Agreed?
Agree.
Agreed. Thank you. Let's have lunch.
Wait. Can't jump to it that quick. Recross?
Very, very briefly. So, Lieutenant, the DNA report that you reviewed said that there were a mixture of at least 2 males. Is that correct?
Yes.
Implying that there could be more than that. Is that fair?
Correct.
Ms. Dikeman did not tell you that she searched for 13 minutes for Alexavier. Is that correct?
He was looking for him. That's all
She
she
said
said.
that she was looking for him, right?
Correct.
And didn't define how long she was looking for him, correct?
Yes.
And in your capacity as an investigator, you've sent in small samples of alleged drugs to the state crime lab on a regular basis. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you can send in, incredibly small samples of suspected methamphetamine, fentanyl, or other substances in order to have it tested. Is that correct?
Not necessarily. Usually it's about a gram we send in. So if we have 50 grams, we're not sending 50 grams in. We'll just send a gram in.
And I assume that you've sent in gem bags or other packaging containers with residue to see what was in there before, correct?
Yes,
You're aware that the crime lab has that capability then?
yes.
Now, the report that we reviewed indicates that investigators were asked for more samples to compare to the unknown DNA in the file. Is that correct?
I'd have to look at the report. I don't remember seeing that.
Still have it in front of you. Go ahead and take a look.
Where would that be?
Page 2, towards the bottom there, bold.
Yes, it does say.
It
that.
indicated that please submit additional samples for DNA comparison. Is that correct?
What it says, please submit appropriate biological standards from any individuals thought to be involved for further DNA interpretations to be made.
To your knowledge, nobody submitted those appropriate standards?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Offer 260 for the purposes used.
I think 260 was received already.
Yeah, we marked it. Well, actually, it was marked over.
Okay. Any objection to it being received now?
For the limited purposes that it was used in this case.
Okay, will be received for those limited purposes.
That's all I have. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Any other questions?
I do, but I think it is lunchtime and I will handle them with another witness.
Okay. All right, you're done with your testimony? Receive relief from the subpoena?
Your Honor, I would ask that Sergeant Williams, or we're going to maintain our subpoena,
Okay.
but
just-
I'm not going to require his presence.
Okay, you can go ahead and step down.
Lieutenant again, sorry.
So we'll take a break for lunch. We'll start back up, let's say 20 after 1, give you a little bit more time. Also give us some time. Again, if you need something, let us know. We'll go from there. Thank you for bearing with us, going a little late. Go on the record quickly here for a second. Okay. Can I ask the attorneys, I know there's technical objections left and right, but if you know the evidence is coming in anyway, we can speed it up. There's ways to come to an agreement about how things come in, et cetera. I mean, can we have another discussion between the two parties to see if there's a way we can streamline this even a little bit more? Though, the other thing is that, and this is real, if you know you're going to use 2 photos, get them both marked and bring them both in. Let's try to figure out ways to make this move forward. It seems like there's a lot of technical objections that are going on right now. And I think a lot of times you're right, but a lot of times we're at a point where, you know, I'm not sure it's all that important to be objecting to certain minor things or not. I mean, I'm relying on you, but at the same time, if there's a way we can speed this up, please speed it up. Seems like we waste a lot of time just waiting for things to get marked, to have the exact same information to get in that was objected to only moments ago. So having said that, I mean, we have lunch. Who's next, can I ask?
I think it will be medical professionals regarding the broken leg.
So whatever doctor was dealing with that?
It'll be nurses and other medical professionals, yeah.
Nurses and other medical professionals.
I don't think it's a doctor this afternoon. I think it'll be a doctor tomorrow, but I need to go back and check.
Okay, okay. Okay, I just want to try to get state's case over with tomorrow,
Me
if
too.
possible. All right, be back here at, let's say 10 after, or let's say quarter after, we'll start up at 12:20.
Have this in the text message? He's in so much trouble right now.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
You get Mark?
I'm talking about the
Oh.
77 that was.
Oh, I didn't move it in, did I?
I still have to put it in there though.
Oh, sorry. This one. That's it.
I don't
I was
want to be.
trying, actually.
Don't walk away with it.
Okay, so that was
I was trying to get Emily to get
77
kicked off.
student. That one was 77. So we're on 78.
Yeah, so you should be. And then I'm missing.
Yes, we haven't gotten there yet.
I left them open.
That was supposed to be like 4 days ago, but we're getting there.
I know.
It's fine. You can see.
I can. I knew the gist of it.